And so are we. Hello everyone. Welcome. It is day 3, game 7 of this TTRPG Extra Life campaign. I have to count in my head because I've just been in a fever dream for 3 days. So with that, I'm gonna just hand it over to everybody else to get us started with introductions and talking not shit, but just talking about stuff and all of that good stuff. So go ahead, and Derek, our wonderful storyteller and dungeon master, go ahead, take us away.
I'm happy to. Thank you so much, Val. Thank you so much for having me here, for having this wonderful cast here. I'm very excited to play today. This is a one shot that I built years ago, and I'm excited for it to actually, I think for the first time, actually be featured on a stream. Um, Hi, everybody. I'm Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. Sword is my real last name. You might recognize me from another channel, but that's somewhere else. I'm here today. I'm joined by these very lovely folks where we are playing D&D 5e. We were playing Bones of the Colossus in Eberron one shot, kind of circled around the Warforged Colossus that exists within that setting. And I'll talk a little bit more about that setting here in just a second. But first of all, I do want to celebrate all the money that's been raised so far for Extra Life and these wonderful people who have dedicated their time to playing a fun game, but also raising more money for Extra Life. So if you do have some extra cash sitting around, please donate to a great cause and even support your local hospital, the Children's Miracle Network that Extra Life supports hospitals all over the world, but especially some major ones here in the United States. I do want to again celebrate these people and have them go around say a little bit about themselves. So let's start out with Anna, if you don't mind going first.
Absolutely. I was totally ready to go first. I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, Korean Trans Advocate, Museum Worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. Today I am playing Eliane, the illusionist extraordinaire. Um, yes, she does shadow magic with not shadow puppets. They are high class shadow weaving techniques.
High quality, high class,
hmm
absolutely.
hmm
Just ask, not everybody does, but just ask, do you have a hospital that you are particularly in support of?
Yes, I am raising money for Gillette Children's Hospital in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anna. Next up, we have Minch.
Hi everyone, I'm Mitch D. You can find me most socials at Mitch underscore D78. I don't do a lot of these. I just tend to hype all my friends that do all these wonderful things. So I'm very honored to be involved in getting to help raise funds for such a wonderful cause. I will be playing Lorge, your very impulsive goblin barbarian. And I'm just playing for Extra Life in general. I think it's a wonderful organization that does great things for people that I've actually dealt with some of those scenarios they deal with. So this is a wonderful thing. Thank you all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mitch. Next up, we have Shears.
Hello, everyone. Merry Time Zone. My name is Bloodthread Shears, Shears for short. I am a streamer on hiatus, wearer of many, many, many hats. Um, Too many to list here. Um, I am playing Brandy Ocean's Eye, a changeling, playing under a human playset. I'll explain that later. I'm playing for Extra Life in general, and looking forward to it. Back to you in the studio.
Wonderful. Next up, we have a Storysmith.
Hello, everyone. I'm a Storysmith. It's lovely to meet you all from watching from abroad. I'm very new to the actual play D&D live streaming scene. This is my first time putting my face on any sort of public facing social media presence. So very exciting. Got all dressed up for the occasion. And I do a lot of writing for D&D, so I'm currently, have various little projects and stuff going on. So typically in the background, stepping into the foreground. Yeah, and I'm playing R00MH-A. You can spell that out for yourself, but to shorten it, we can just go with RZ.
Beautiful. And we're very glad to have you here. Welcome to the space. And to Ouroboros this whole thing and have the snake eat its own tail,
Yeah.
we'll end, but also begin with Val.
Hi everyone, it's me, Val. This is my channel. Um, I I use any and all pronouns. And I am playing Arissa Jadestone, a dwarf inquisitive rogue who really likes to take shiny things from tombs, either for herself or for money. She uses she, her pronouns. Usually it's not money. She just has like, I get the favorite thing from the treasure hunt. That's all I require, sort of thing. But yeah, that's me and that's what I'm playing. As far as Extra Life stuff goes, just as a reminder, if you want to donate to the cause, just type in !Extra Life in chat and bam, that link will come up. I also want to remind everyone that I do match my subs for the month of November, my sub points, with $1 USD donations at the end of the month. So if you have that Twitch Prime hanging around and that is the only thing you have to give it to me, because I will make sure Bezos money goes to a good cause. But also, if you don't have a Twitch Prime and you want to gift subs or any of that, like, feel free to do that. I will match those. So essentially 50% of the sub goes to donating towards Extra Life on my end, where the other just goes to making sure that I keep the space running. And yeah, I think that's it. I think with that, that's what we're doing here. So Derek, I think we're done. Let's just play some Dungeons and Dragons, please.
Let's do it. Hope you all have your dice, your multiple beverages, should you be neurospicy like me. And let's do this without any further ado. Let's do this. So I do want to, even before we jump in, this is kind of a choose your own adventure sort of game. In the sense that I will have one of you roll a d4. Can be anybody. Whoever's feeling bravest.
Whoever's the fastest.
Yeah,
I'll
honestly.
do it. I have my Extra Life dice today, and I'll roll it with that.
Nice.
That seems fitting.
Yes.
I have my oh shit dice in case if things go bad.
Okay.
Derek, that is a 3,
There's a 3.
which I know
Wonderful.
means we all automatically win D&D.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much for all your donations. This has been great. Appreciate your time. No, we'll see what happens with that later. 4 different outcomes, but I think you've all got this regardless. Val, also, could I get your PP, your passive perception, and your armor class P?
My passive perception is 15, and my armor class is 17.
Beautiful. Okay. So, to set our story here, as not everybody might be familiar with the world of Eberron, highly recommend checking it out. It's really fun. It's really cool. But the story so far is that the world of Eberron is one shaped by conflict. The last war, as it was known, raged across the continent of Corvair for over 100 years before finally ending in a cataclysm. This disaster destroyed an entire kingdom known as Sire. In mere moments, it effectively ended all hostilities. It's now been 10 years since the end of that war, and that's where our story begins. In the peace times, many have turned to a burgeoning method of coin acquisition, namely adventuring. You are some of these enterprising individuals and have for a short time been members of Rabid Roxy's Reclamation and Restoration. RRR&R, or 4R, is one of dozens of adventuring guilds headquartered in Sharn, the great city of many towers. Rabid Roxy, your employer and guildmaster, is a ruthless shifter. A person who's kind of like a partial lycanthrope. She made a small fortune playing Khrazak, which is a professional shifter sport, and used that coin to start and operate her own adventuring guild. RRR&R specializes in the recovery of artifacts from across Eberron, but an especially lucrative area of artifact recovery is that of relics of the last war, which are refurbished and then sold to the highest bidder. A day ago, reports came in from a reliable source that the rumored lost Warforged Colossus, WX-52, codenamed Invader, was spotted near the border of Breland and Droam. Not too far from Sharn, but definitely outside of what would be safe territory. The Warforged Colossus was a massive weapon of war, a 200-foot tall construct that was operated from within by a team of pilots with dragon marks, special, almost like birthmark tattoos that gave them special powers and also kind of made them one-percenters. The Colossi served as troop transport, siege weapons, and defensive sentries, but where they were most effective and truly devastating was on the battlefield. Its size alone was enough to strike fear in the hearts of rival armies, but it was the arcane weapons built into the giants that made them weapons of mass destruction. The eldritch turrets and incinerating beams would lay waste to advancing forces, the steel feet and hands would do the rest. However, the intel that you've received is a little strange. This Colossus, its sudden appearance, maybe it's that it came from seemingly nowhere. Maybe it's that it's nearly an entire continent away from its last reported location. Maybe it's that it's been 15 years since the Colossus was last seen. Maybe it's that the Colossus appears to have fused itself into the cliffside of a mountain range in which it was discovered. Regardless of these mysteries, RRR&R has decided that the profit for something like this is worth the risk, and Roxy has chosen to stake a claim. There are many who would pay handsomely for even a bit of the lost technology that this Colossus might contain, not the least of which is Merrick's de Cannith, the de facto head of the Cannith Dragon-marked house, who are really the progenitors, the creators of the Warforged. But others would likely realize the value of something like this as well, and there's no shortage of individuals or groups that would seek this out for a variety of reasons, many of them nefarious. A find of this magnitude can make for harsh competition, and word travels fast. So your contract, as it has been presented to you by Roxy, is to travel by airship to the location, stake a claim, recover any and all valuables that you can carry out, defend your claim at all costs, and await the arrival of other RRR&R team members. That brings us up to speed. You now find yourselves in the air aboard the airship the Siren. You left the great city of Sharn in the pre-dawn hours of the morning, and it's nearing midday now. You can see the Grey Wall Mountains nearing as you travel west towards Droam, an entire portion of the continent inhabited by monstrous people who actually live somewhat civilly. Reports say that the Colossus is located within the mountain range itself, and access by land is difficult. So the captain of the Siren, a half-elf named Aurenos de Lerendar, has decided to carry you, or to ferry you, as he is often hired out by Roxy. He's a portly half-elf gentleman with a handlebar mustache, goggles about his neck, who always hums idly to himself in some sort of cacophonic kind of tune as he pilots the airship forward. This airship has definitely seen better days, but she's still airworthy for the most part, and it was definitely a decommissioned battleship from the last war. So I will ask, as the day is passing by and you are nearing your destination, what would all of you be doing aboard this airship? We can go ahead and go around. Val, I will start with you.
I think on top of the airship, waiting for landing with Arissa, she's sitting down, sort of on the deck, and she is meticulously going over her dungeoneering pack and making sure that she has legitimately every tool that she needs to go on this expedition, and being very meticulous as far as like looks go. Fairly tall for a dwarf, at a solid 5 feet tall, which is my exact height, and I identify as a tall dwarf. So, like, she's got, however, like, very, very over processed bleached hair that she just kind of keeps in a bun, and she does not sport a beard. Female dwarves do have beards, but she does not. It just gets too itchy, catches too much dirt, all that kind of stuff. So she shaves her face. She wears sort of just this very practical linen clothes and overalls underneath her studded leather armor, and it's just like, yeah, like she's got her signature crowbar that she uses for everything, and I mean everything. As long as you know the typical picks and shovels and all of the other kind of things.
Wonderful. I absolutely love that. Okay. So sounds like going through inventory management, an important thing to do before a task. A story. What about RZ? Where would we find our resident Warforged aboard the ship?
So you would see this tall, rather lanky-looking Warforged, like clearly not hadn't been refitted from practical combat applications, or at least it seems so. At a sort of rusty patch of the ship, sort of like looking around back and forth nervously, like I'm not supposed to be here, and then whips out a polishing cloth and just starts like gently tending to it, trying to buff it up because she's a lovely lady. Like it's just such a shame to see her in such a state. So we're just doing a little bit of tidying up. It's in our nature.
Fantastic. I love that. Shears, what about Brandy? What would Brandy be up to?
Brandy is in the cabins, looking in front of a mirror, uh, trying to shake off her current appearance after going too deep into method, uh, and can't really figure out what's going on. Currently, she looks like a pale woman, dark hair, ocean blue eyes, and wearing just breeches, linen shirt, and is doing everything she can to like just focus. And every time she tries to, when she opens her eyes, still looks like a human, and just kicks the door out and just is cursing uh in every language she knows, because how the fuck am I supposed to get back to normal? I have roles to do.
I have to imagine for a changeling performer that's quite a few languages to curse in. So, uh, Mitch, Lorge would overhear this. I mean, absolute Rosetta Stone of foul mouthery. What would Lorge be up to?
Um, Lorge would probably be on his way to run up to the deck, to chase whatever birds might be around while we're flying through the air, just thrilled that he's not having to work at his usual day job this time, that he gets to go on a traveling trip for once, kind of just whimsically enjoying being in the air. Um, he's a shorter goblin, about 4'9", green skin, bluish white tiger stripes on his arms. He wears just kind of a light gray tunic that's sleeveless and just kind of hangs down to the knees, but it's cut down the thighs because he's very much wearing his gym bro shorts. Um, he's a little solid wall of muscle for his height, but is very enthusiastic about just being outside right now.
Yeah, it's rough when adventuring is your side hustle. The restaurants still need work.
Well,
The
he's tired of
menial
cleaning up
jobs.
the
Yeah.
mage magical messes is what he's always hired to go clean up the residues and stuff.
Why does prestidigitation exist if they can't clean it up after themselves? I mean, I ask you. It takes 6 seconds. Um, Last but absolutely not least, Anna, what would Elaine be up to on the Syrian Siren?
Yeah, Eileen, I think we find her at a table, hunched over at a table in the galley. Elaine is a spring eladrin, kind of hair pulled up in a bunch in the back of her head with flowers throughout. But lately there's been frost at the ends of her hair as her kind of jaded winter personality has been trying to creep in. She's hunched over this big stack of flyers. Normally, she would get these flyers printed by a third party, but the theater houses in Sharn have recently changed their policies where you have to pay venue fees up front, which is what all of her payment for this current adventure is going to go towards. So she's doing these flyers herself. We see her there in this big stack of um, half-done flyers and empty sheets of paper. Her brass lantern that she always has sitting in the table, kind of casting long shadows around her. And she glances to her side, to her shadow, and kind of motions towards a stack of papers across the room. And her shadow kind of gets up and walks independently and picks up that stack of papers and brings it over to her, and she continues working.
I love that. Um, the time rattles by only a little bit longer. For some of you, that might seem like half a second. For some of you, it might seem like a short eternity, depending on how frustrated you might be with leaving or how happy you might be with leaving Sharn and the journey that you've been on. This old rickety airship is not really well insulated, and you definitely notice that at your altitude, you're beginning to get cold. Even those of you who might be below decks will be a little bit warmer than those getting an Arctic breeze blasting in your face on the top deck. Nevertheless, a whistle blows shortly into your journey here, indicating that you are nearing your target. And as you get to the mountain range, you note that there's something odd about it with the Droam Mountains here. You can see the typical arcs and crests and everything else, but there's a gleam within them that seems to be shining off of some major piece of metal. And as you get closer and closer, you do notice that it is the domed head of a massive Warforged Colossus, your target, codenamed Invader. And I don't know if any of you might have seen a Warforged Colossus before. Maybe some of you served in the war. Maybe you saw them on propaganda posters. Maybe you never saw one in person. But seeing this thing in its sheer size, as it seems to be, like the intel told you, it's seems to be standing. All of it's 200 feet. Its left arm is extended outwards with an open palm, the palm facing upwards. Its right side is almost embedded, even melded with the cliffside, the rock face of the mountain, um, making you unsure whether its right arm even exists and right leg. You can only really see like its upper right thigh sticking out. Its right arm all the way up to about the shoulder is fully embedded or melded into the rock face. Its head is turned slightly as if it was trying to reach for something whenever it got here. As Intel has also told you that, I mean, 5 days before the Intel came in, the mountains were fine. There was nothing here. This thing just appeared. So you're not exactly sure exactly how this got here, but that's also not really your business. Your business is to loot the fuck out of this thing, get every bit of magical whatnot you can, put it in the bag of holding that has been provided to you, and get out before you get into too much trouble. So Orenos signals the whistle and kind of puts the thing in autopilot a little bit as his portly half-elf self comes out. Oh, well, best be going on your little adventure then, eh? Here's your bag of holding for you to put all of your goodies in, and best of luck and all that, or break a leg, whatever you say. I will descend the ladder for you all, and I shall be back. Well, I need to make a loop around and go get your assistants, your backup. And once I ferry them, I shall be here to reinforce all of you. But it's not safe to just loop around in these mountains. There's plenty of things that would see me as food. Any questions for good old Renos before I fly off? Or?
No. And I take the bag of holding.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. He is going to descend the airship somewhat into this crevasse that the Warforge is set into. This canyon, this valley between these mountains, and as he does, he lowers this rope ladder down for you all, allowing you all to descend. Getting down to the floor, you notice that you're, on solid rock, stone, dirt at the bottom of this canyon, down by the foot of this thing. I'm going to change the music real quick. If I can get perception checks from everybody as well.
18.
11.
16.
3.
9?
What a wide range. Okay. Let's see here. Let's do this. Okay. As you all are looking around at the ground around you, you can really see that, as far as evidence-wise, trying to figure out maybe where this thing came from, if anybody else has been here, anything that you can kind of discern, the mountain seems pretty empty, pretty void of life. The mountains were snow-capped. It's definitely cold through here, but the wind isn't really cutting through the way that it was before. Indicate the canyon's kind of like blocking a lot of that air. You don't notice any footprints around in the soft dirt. You especially don't notice any Colossus-sized footprints, so this thing probably didn't walk here, at least not recently. But you don't notice any predators. You don't notice anyone else seeming to have been here. Seems as if you staked your claim pretty sufficiently. I think Val potentially got one of the highest rolls. especially with your tool set, as you're kind of looking around at the massive boot of this colossus, you do notice that set into it, almost set into the ankle. There seems to be a slight outline, which indicates that there actually might be a door there. And as you're kind of looking at it, you're noticing that in all the intricate lines that kind of have pieced this thing together, you think you're correct. You think that there's probably hinges on the other side, and you notice what is likely a keyhole, though you don't see like a handle or anything to pull open.
Oi, I think I've got the door over here. As she just sort of waddles on over. Aye, that's a door. And I get out my crowbar and I start to pry it open without a key. Like...
Wow. Real graceful. Real graceful.
Whatever works. Good eye.
Why would I want to be graceful?
Okay, so you're getting out your crowbar. Is that right? Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna crowbar it open.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Can I
Can I say
argue
that-
thieves' tools? Because technically...
Yes, we could absolutely do thieves' tools.
Gotcha, cool. Thieves' tools.
You said this was an inelegant thing, but you are right that a crowbar is still thieves'
Can
tools.
I do thieves' tools, but strength?
Absolutely.
That's okay. Cool. I think that works out really well. I'd like to narrate this.
Please.
Because it's a nat 1. Which is a 5. But I go in and I just kind of try to pry it. Oi! And I put my feet against the door. Oi! I think we should look for a key. And I put the crowbar away.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does Brandy see any hinges with like the hinge pins?
As far as you can tell, the hinges are likely on the inside. So you don't see any hinges, at least on the exterior. The door itself seems to kind of like be hidden within the structure of the design itself. Also, Val, for Arissa, I will need a dexterity saving throw, please.
Absolutely. Dex save. That is a 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are going to take. You're going to take 9 points of lightning damage, as it seems as if the door itself, probably with this thing on the battlefield, people didn't want anyone breaking in, and it seems as if trying to break into this door triggered a trap. And so electricity channels through the crowbar and into you, kind of shocking you backwards a little bit as well.
I feel that like electricity kind of coming through the iron, and I'm going to have that damage by using Uncanny Dodge and letting it go, just in case. So you said 14 originally?
Just 9 originally.
9 originally. Okay, so it's down to so I take 4.
Question.
Please.
I'm a Warforged. It's a Warforged. Can I do some sort of like history or intelligence check to understand the anatomy and construction of Warforged, and if there is perhaps a better way to like break this thing open?
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. I'm rolling dice digital because I'm a heathen, and that
Totally
is
fine.
also a very low roll. Unfortunately, that's a 5.
Okay. With a 5, you look at your own foot and try to think if there's a door down there that maybe leads to the inside of you, and reason that probably not, but maybe are mice inside of you right now? You're not sure. Yeah, I think if anyone might have seen a Warforged Colossus before, it might be another Warforged if you were built during the war to serve in the war. But a Warforged of this magnitude didn't have sentience the way you did. This thing was piloted. This was a transport. It was just a machine. You have sentience. You're a living being. This thing had a bunch of people inside of it, it didn't have a mind of its own. Anything anyone else would like to do?
Yes. Without touching the door, you said there was a keyhole. Can we see
Yes.
through the keyhole?
Not really. It's more of an intricate kind of keyhole, so
Gotcha.
again, kind of set into the design. Um, yeah, and I would say that even if you could, it'd probably be pretty dark in there. But you do get the idea that maybe instead of forcing the door open, trying to maneuver the key, like the lock, might be a more successful route to take.
If only we had a rogue that used thieves' tools to open doors.
We could absolutely, in the Baldur's Gate way of things, you still have thieves' tools if you would like to keep thieving. You absolutely could. Not sure if Val had headphones. I was saying if you would like to try the thieves' tools again, you absolutely could. In the vein of Baldur's Gate, you still have thieves' tools on you. You can still absolutely try again. It's not one of those like
Do I
try
have
once and it's
right?
done.
Do I
sort of
have
thing.
anything like? Do we have any keys or anything? I'm gonna try a different approach with this, in that I'm not using a crowbar to break into it as much as I am trying to pick the lock this time. So what happened? Well, I was peeing. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So we determined that unfortunately RZ was not able to really remember too much about the Colossus, and Elian was able to figure out that uh, while the like prying the door open might not be successful, using the lock would probably be a more successful route to take, since people would likely try to force the door
Gotcha.
open, which is what would trigger the trap. But someone with a key would be, like a rogue on a battlefield trying to, as this thing is also stomping, unlock this thing would be a less likely incident to
So
happen.
I have before I even try the thieves tool again.
Yeah.
I have a thing called I for detail. For the Inquisitive Rogue.
Right.
It says I can do a wisdom perception check to check to spot a hidden creature or object to make an intelligence check to uncover or decipher clues. I want to see if there's a key lying around.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
After
ahead
I got
and
like frazzled, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna find the key. It's on the ground somewhere usually.
Can I get the help action and also assist in searching?
please.
Okay, cool. I think with this, I'll go ahead and do, because I'm looking for a hidden object, I'll do the perception check. So that'll give me advantage, which is a dirty 20.
Beautiful. It is weirdly serendipitous that RZ gave you the help action, because as you're like kicking around dirt on the ground trying to find anything that might have been dropped here, and like you're kind of like walking around with your eyes lowered, RZ's also, maybe doing a little cleaning around you and also like kicking up a little bit here and there. And that's when you notice that the lock to this is very strange looking. It's almost like four pins maybe needed to be pushed at the same time, all in a vertical, but the squares to them are slightly different shaped. And you look over at like your eye height, which is pretty much like waist height probably for RZ, and realize that RZ's hand actually lines up incredibly well with what this lock is.
I'm gonna look over at RZ. It's like, oh, you've had the key the whole time, dear. Come here.
RZ is like gently picking up a boulder and like dusting underneath it and going, huh? What? Okay.
Come lend me a hand. Come on. Sorry, I went from Scottish to Cajun, and I don't know how that happened.
That's okay. You know what? There's no Scots or Cajuns in Eberron.
Right,
That's
so
just
like
the way
I'm
they
just
sound.
saying that this is just the accent is a mixture of these things.
It's the pigeon. Yeah, absolutely.
Watch the Russians gonna slip in. That's just all that happens. Okay.
That's just dwarves.
Yeah, that's just dwarves. That's just what they do. I'm gonna be like, I think all you need to do is put your fingers in these holes right here. See?
Oh,
Yeah.
like this? And I
Yeah.
shove them in.
Just like that.
Yeah. As you do, you feel like slight pressure on the ends of your robotic fingertips. Almost like the pins kind of like clicking and releasing. And as you do, the door decompresses. It pushes towards you, and slides open to your right. And looking within is essentially the ankle, the leg of this Warforged Colossus, which seems to be, while you can see gears and metallic bits here and there, also it's an access point for a reason. And while it is mostly dark inside, you can see a metal ladder built into, like the metal rung ladder built into the leg itself, which leads upwards into the rest of the Colossus.
Now that was quite elegant, if I say so myself. And I look over at Brandy with a smirk.
Brandy is resisting very hard to not use cutting words. It
Fair
just gives you a look.
Alright.
This is a narrow space in the sense that it is 5 feet. So when it comes to going up the ladder, I will need to know what your order of movement is. Who was going first, second, third, fourth, fifth?
Does anyone not have dark vision?
Do Warforged have dark vision? I don't know.
I really think they don't.
I don't think they do either. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
it's
lantern casts light in 30 feet, 30-foot radius.
That sounds like a strong volunteering for going first.
I don't know about that.
30 feet. Like, Elliot could be at the back.
I
think
can be
that's what
second.
we're vying for here.
Do you see how squishy she is? No. Like,
While everybody's discussing that, Lorge literally runs through everybody's legs into the door.
you're only 2 inches shorter than me. You're not running
Okay.
through my legs.
Runs past you. And like skids into this small confined space.
Boy, problem solved, and I follow him. Like,
I'll go third.
Fourth?
All right.
We go up.
And then...
And I'm last.
That's all right.
I can't see shit.
Okay. So there we go. Let me pull up something here. Okay. Climbing up the ladder, you hear your own movements, however quiet they may be, which if you all do want to move stealthily, let me know. But like as soon as like Lorge runs in there, you can hear like the little clitters and clanks of goblin movement as they kind of echo up this hollow metallic space. And moving upwards, it's not super cramped. Like again, it's a single ladder. You couldn't really like have 2 people climb up, but it's wide enough that you could probably spread your arms, even the tallest of you, and just touch either side of this thing's leg. And again, it's all kind of plated in here. You don't see a lot of the inner mechanics. You don't see wires, you don't see gears, you don't really see anything like that. Nevertheless, as you continue upwards, let's see, you have a lantern that's giving you light. Lord, you have dark vision.
I do have dark vision.
This should be bright regardless. So I will need a dexterity saving throw. With advantage, just about as you're kind of getting to the knee section. You notice as you're climbing up that the light kind of casts outwards a little bit more than it does, indicating kind of a hollow space. And just as you reach the knee section, your hand reaches a rung, and that rung clicks downwards. It doesn't like detach, but it's almost like you are pulling a lever slightly on something. And so if I get a dexterity saving throw from it.
Yep, that was a 17 plus 4 for a 21.
Fantastic. Okay. With that, you are only going to take half damage then. So let's see. That is only going to be 4 fire damage. As Lorge, with as small as you are able to duck your head as a blast of flame shoots out from another trap that had been set into the knee section. This flamethrower-like device, which blasts, excuse me for hitting my mic, which blasts all of this intense, like bluish hot flame right over your head. It maybe singes just the tips of your goblin ears as you're able to duck out of the way.
My mohawk is
And
now half as tall.
Oh no!
yes,
Your
full
hair's
singed mohawk.
singed!
Um, with that, he'd have been like, no touch, no, ah, fired. He's not even paying attention to how loud he is. It's like echoing through to everyone below him as
Against
he's
the
pointing
metal,
at that
yeah.
rung.
Yeah, you're getting a cannonade of Lord yelling as it's him both yelling it and it's echoing back at you, and so there's kind of syncope to it.
Oh, this
Yes,
is not
the
good.
rung remains kind of pushed down, so as long as you avoid that, you should be fine. Are we continuing upward?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
probably even more joy and excitement now because shiny things are protected and we're already on fire, so that means good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Like,
Actually,
fire this soon, there's good stuff.
Lord, much to that point, you do look over. So the flamethrower essentially is going to be on your left.
Hmm.
Looking to your right, you see the first of what is going to be some of the more valuable items set into this Warforged Colossus, and you notice a docent node. Docent nodes are like, what's like a small volleyball sized orbs that are connected by wires all throughout the Warforged Colossus. They're these little hubs that help connect information. Information can only travel so far. The docent node helps them travel even further. And so you look over, probably likely what's still powering this flamethrower is the docent node that you see to your right. It's connected again by these two very soggy, goopy, pinkish looking wires, very like thick tendril like tubes. If you would like to detach that, or if any of you would like to detach that, I would need a sleight of hand.
Ooh, shiny.
I should probably do that.
Oh, Lord's no take? You take?
We'll see if it could be taken first.
Okay, you take. Lords will move up a little bit so that Arissa can get to that spot.
It's Dr. Arissa to you, thank you very much. Um,
Lords doesn't understand upper level education.
it's okay.
This is an archaeologist, is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Lord's is going to ask for medical attention from you later now.
So I'm not that kind of doctor.
Lord, what did you? Oh God. Oh, and
It's alright.
Brandy's gonna go over, tap his shoulder, cure wounds.
Yay.
All right,
Lords
cool.
feel good.
Sleight of hand, eh?
Sleight of hand, please.
And that will be at first level.
Yeah. It's a 19.
Okay. Very deftly, you are able to disconnect these two living wires, which I think, especially as a dwarf in Eberron, you might be familiar with.
Yeah.
Dwarves have a tendency to dig downwards. It's kind of often where they live, and Eberron is a little weird because at a certain point, when you dig downwards far enough, you start to get weird living symbiotic sorts of things. And it seems as if these Warforged Colossus utilized a lot of that. I'm going to use the word technology, probably biotechnology is more accurate, to transmit again the information, allowing this Warforged Colossus to move. So you were able to disconnect those two goopy wires and grab the docent node and place it into your bag of holding without any issue.
RZ watches this whole thing and feels this sort of like existential shudder. Like, interesting.
Could be you. Okay. Continuing upwards. You find the rest of the climb up the ladder to be pretty incidental. You get up to what you believe to be the hip joint, this kind of L section, where the ladder stops and a flat platform kind of is set. It's only about maybe 15 feet in, I believe. I'm gonna double check my map. Yeah, just about 15 feet. And you notice again you're faced with, this is more obvious. This isn't like set into a blank wall, but this is a metal door that has stopped you as well. Very similar lock to the one you saw outside.
Oh, doors.
If Lord is waiting for everybody to finish climbing up the stairs, he would literally just walk over and knock on the door. Hello?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay. You knock on this metal door, and like a timpani drum, it kind of just like rattles and echoes back down the leg, but also you feel like it echoes on the other side as well. And you just hear yourself kind of like reverberating back at you. Hello, 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 hello. Kind of just coming up and down this leg with the resonance of it all. But you don't hear anything else. You don't really hear any movement or anything else besides your own voice and the sound of metal just reverberating.
He's gonna go back and wait for everybody to get up onto the platform.
I don't think anyone's here. Which is good. First come, first serve.
Okay. So yes, all up on the platform now. You have the metal door before you. How would you all like to proceed?
Um. Hmm.
You got any eloquent ideas there?
Do we hear anyone in this room or like see any movement?
In this, you're kind of just like in a small hallway right now. You haven't opened
Okay.
the door just yet. And it's you
Well,
can
are
do a
there any
perception.
lights? Like when you're going in a hallway, you see the light underneath the door. Is there any shadows passing?
No light on the other side of the door, as far as you can tell. It's pretty dark in here.
Okay.
You can do a perception check to listen out, but not really much else that you could see from the position where you are right now.
Okay. Then.
The bane of all adventurers' existence. Doors.
So that will be a 15.
Okay. With a 15, let's see. You all are in the hip section, right down there. Okay. Very, very faintly, you think you can hear, like, not the level above you, but like if you were in a shitty apartment complex with like a really thin floors, walls, everything else, you think you could hear footsteps, just a couple of them, not the level above, but maybe above that, maybe even further above that. But it's really tough to tell, and maybe it's just reverberating coming back from the pounding on the door that Lorge just did, but it sounds like footsteps for just a moment.
I think I heard footsteps.
Wouldn't be surprising if we're not alone.
For once, I would like something to be truly abandoned.
Where'd you hear the footsteps?
Few doors down. Kind of a flinch and you miss it kind of deal.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry. Was there a question? I'm sorry.
Oh,
No.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just, Ursa was asking, like, where, Brittany heard the footsteps.
Gotcha.
And it was a few doors down. A few doors down the hall or a few floors up above us? This is for Derek.
Few doors above.
Okay,
So
so
you're
levels
on like
up. Gotcha.
yes, you're in the hip section.
Mm-hmm.
There's an abdomen section. There's a chest section. There's a head section. So if you
Mhm.
want to think of those as floors, it was above you that the sound would have come from. But yeah,
They
again,
didn't
very very faint.
Lorge.
they didn't give us instructions on what to do if we found someone else, did they?
not let them take shiny.
They told us to stake a claim. I think that
Are
comes with.
shiny.
I think that comes with a lot of implied instructions. Perhaps they're just here for a show.
I hope this isn't an audition. I really hope this is not an audition. I'm not ready for that.
Lorge, do us a favor.
Yes.
Don't knock on any more doors.
Oh.
It's okay. You didn't do anything bad. However, if we can hear them, they could probably hear us. And we don't want that. We want to get the jump on them in case.
Okay, Lords jump on them.
Good.
One other thing I will note, for as you're spending a little bit of time in this space here before this door, RZ and Dr. Arissa, you'd both note that in addition to this door, there actually is another portion of the wall that does have that kind of outline indicating there might be another thing here. This one actually does have just like a hand latch to it, which is kind of why it identifies a little bit better than the others. And it is set as you're looking at the door to your left.
I look at it. I look at Arissa. I look back at it.
Do it.
And as you open this little hatch, it's like a maybe like 2.5 by 2.5 rounded square. You open it and find that it is what you'd likely determine is an emergency compartment. Again, you were able to get through the door foot, so potentially enemy combatants could as well. And this is likely what would be used should enemy combatants be climbing up that ladder, as you find a light crossbow, several bolts. These are just regular crossbow bolts, but you also find 2 bottles of alchemist fire. So as you go to look down the leg, this probably would be a great anti-siege tactic, is to just fire downwards at anybody who might be siloed on that ladder. So if you would like, you can add that to your inventory.
Arissa just holds open the bag of holding and it's like, alright, trick or treats, put it in. Like, I'll toss it to whoever needs it. And what were the items again, real quick?
It's a light crossbow with crossbow bolts and 2 bottles of alchemist fire.
Does anybody want the crossbow equipped to them, or is it just going straight to the bag?
I don't particularly need anything.
Okay. And 2 alchemist fires. And to use those, it's like just basically throwing like a bomb.
Yeah,
So like
you throw
darts.
them and they break.
Gotcha.
Spread some fire.
Gotcha. Alright. Not exactly world-shattering artifacts, but you know, take what you get.
Could be useful, and every piece of gold is further towards our goal, I guess.
Right?
Honestly, with the way we go through blowing things up, the alchemist fire won't hurt us too badly.
No. Just get out the way in time.
Look, that was the one time, and you singed my hair.
It's okay. I paid your hairdresser afterwards to fix it for the keratin treatment. It's okay.
True.
And now it's eloquent.
This isn't what I'm supposed to look like.
Well, I mean, do we know that you're a changeling?
You know I work in theater, and you know that I do the method. I don't think anyone has seen what Brandy looks like in base form, probably except for her ex.
Yeah.
But the only thing that doesn't change is like the really unsettlingly ocean blue eyes. And that became like her signature, and she's very vain about that.
Fair. Well, good thing we didn't burn your eyes. You're very good at changing up your look, however. It's impressive.
It's part of the craft. And I'm getting into myself again. Okay, let's try and focus, 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 focus. Try and get. I am not human. I am not human. Do I still look human?
You look like a person.
Damn it!
Do you want to look like an ogre?
Well, I haven't done that in a while.
Or do you want to look like a dragon? Or do you want to look like... What do you want to look like?
And she just taps Arissa's shoulder, tries to change. I'm not sure if that would quantify a roll.
I leave it up to you if you would like to make it a roll, or I mean,
Yeah.
you are a this is kind of your character deal. So if you would like to make it a roll, we could call it like Arcana or maybe even like Deception.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Why are you touching me? I don't understand.
8 plus...
Why do we do this?
I'm gonna go with Deception because that's higher. 8 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13?
I mean, it's slightly better than average. Maybe like your eye color changes, or like you're able to
I think
reshape
the eye
your
color is
ears.
the only thing she doesn't want changed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like the ears point. You get some fangs. Like I feel like with the 13 something changes, but you're still just like mostly human.
Purse is an orcish.
Yeah, maybe like an extra pinky grows, you become polydactyl, something like that.
Brandy, I don't know why you're worrying yourself. You don't need pointy ears and sharp teeth to go into a dungeon. I mean, the sharp teeth does help sometimes, but I mean, nobody here cares.
I'm not supposed to look like this.
It's alright, you have actual skills. Don't worry about how you look. I don't.
Just need a little practice and your illusion work will get there. Eliane says as she kind of taps Brandy's shoulder as she walks by. I feel like we should keep moving. I'd
Yeah.
really like to not stay in here longer than we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could stay in this thing for months. There's so much.
Grabs your shoulder.
here.
Come on.
Okay, alright. Lord, come with us. Leave that there.
How would you like to get through the metal door?
Are there little finger things for it to open?
There are.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay.
Just let RZ take it away.
Okay.
Arzea's just been like patiently sitting, waiting for instructions, like, just happy to be there.
RZ, if you mind.
Oh, certainly.
Fantastic. RZ, again, as the like slight pressure on your fingertips as you insert your Warforged hand, you're kind of picking up a little bit that Warforged were programmed, conditioned to fight for the same side. That Warforged would obviously be a key. Like all Warforged should have the same essential like hand design to access these doors, because a Warforged would never betray the whatever side of the the war that the Canists were currently supporting. So as the door again depressurizes, opens, you walk into a very utilitarian seeming room. It's very clean, if not even brutalist in its design. There is metal interspersed in some areas as you're kind of walking up, and you are looking towards the other side of the hip. You can see that far wall actually does have a rocky kind of like surface to it, indicating that like what used to be where that hip used to be now is the rock surface of the cliffside that this thing seems to be inside of, one with even. And you'll see a number of pipes, nozzles. Some of them are complete, others look unfinished. But you do reason that this was likely probably a water supply, waste disposal, maybe even power supply. Um, you do notice that as you walk in, there are kind of set into the back of like where the hips would be two additional docent nodes on either side. So if you would like to grab those will be sleight of hand. If the good doctor is doing it, that will be an advantage because you have already figured out how to do that. Um, Looking around, you also notice that there are some barrels uh, marked as food and water. Some cans as well. You're kind of wondering about those rations, whether they would have survived the 15 years or not. But looking at like the labels of them, where you would expect them to be kind of worn away just by time, not really exposure, but just time itself, they almost look like they could only be maybe a few days old. Like the color on them is very vibrant. There's no rust. There's no wear or tear to any of them. I mean, these could maybe be a week, maybe 2 weeks old at most.
I would like to
And
crack one
please,
open.
okay. Cracking open one of the cans, you see that this thing might as well have been like freshly canned. It's beans, but the beans seem to be fine, edible even for those of you that would eat beans. Um, yeah, these seem
Everyone should.
recently packed.
Could I take a look? You said that we can see the rocky cliff face inside the hip,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I want to take a look at the point where the metal meets with the earth. Does it look like it is fused together? Does it look like there was a clean cut and it's just lying flush? Like, what is the attachment like?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Will I roll above a 10? I will. That's an 18 on the dice, and then investigation is a 3. 21.
Beautiful. Looking at the rock and the metal, it's as if they're almost one. There's actually like little bits of the sediment of the rock which have infused itself with the metal. The metal almost seeming to like bubble a little bit as if there was maybe heat or friction involved in the fusing process. But yeah, it's not like this Warforge was like cut perfectly to align with the mountain. It is one with the mountain. Likely if you were to chisel away rock, you would find like metal arm partially within the rock itself, as if the two had become one. The metal of the Warforged almost becoming like metal you could source like an ore vein within the rock. And in addition to all of that, you do note that at the back of the abdomen, in between the two docent nodes, is another ladder to climb up.
Um. So, sorry. This is all just melded into the rock.
Mm-hmm.
This is. Do we know how long this guy has been hanging out here?
Less than 5 days in the
Less
mountainside.
In the mountainside, but the rock is
Mhm.
already like formed with it.
Mm-hmm. This particular colossus has been missing for 15 years, but has been fused with the rock for probably less than 5 days.
And it was not here 5 days ago.
What could be so powerful to do something like this?
Dr. Arissa, you feel a hand on your shoulder again for just a moment.
No.
It's a little cold. And for a
That
second you
isn't me.
wonder you wonder if it's Brandy again, who had like kind of like guided you a little bit before. And it squeezes just for a second. Not hard enough to hurt, but like hard enough to get your attention, and you hear a voice in your ear that just says, "Get out." And then the grip is gone and the coldness is fading, but still somewhat
I
present.
kind of like whip around and look as. Did anyone hear that?
Hmm?
No.
Hear
The
what?
only-
Someone...
The only thing I can
What?
the only thing I can hear is Laura's chewing.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, Lord's just sitting on top of the barrel, eating the now opened can of beans with a spoon, kind of
Oh
kicking
no,
his
no,
feet.
no! Don't. You're supposed to cook those.
No, beans, good.
Would my
I'm not paying for that.
would my stone cunning give me any information about this mountain and its lore particularly? You're muted, Derek.
Muted.
Yeah.
Good. Yes, please go ahead and roll history.
Cool. And I add twice my proficiency bonus, so I'm gonna add 3 to this. That would be a 24 on the history check with stone cutting.
24. Okay. So let's see. I want to make sure that I remember what these mountains are called. Let's see. It's like the Gray Wall Mountains or something like that. So you know that these. Nope. Wall maybe? Nope. Okay. That's fine. Let me pull up a map of Eberron. There we go. There's Corvair. So the lands of Droim are occupied mostly by monstrous people. The Gray Wall, Cloak, whatever they're called, mountains, really separate that monstrous land, a land that is kind of ruled over by 3 hags, and is inhabited by lycanthropes, minotaurs, gnolls, goblinoids, orcs, all those kinds of people. Typically lives pretty harmoniously. They have a great economy. They don't really do too much invasion. It's just people in the city of Sharn aren't super hot about them often coming into their lands. And so the mountain range typically does a great job of kind of separating out the Grey Wall Mountains. Let's say the word the Grey Wall. I don't know why. Oh, because I spelled it with an E, not an A. Okay. These mountains often serve as a natural barrier between the lands of Breland, which is kind of considered like the traditional medieval Europe, maybe a little bit advanced into the steampunk kind of land. You have the Skyraker Forest, the Dragonwood. A lot of elves kind of live in those areas, but the Grey Wall Mountains are often uninhabited. They're just kind of that natural barrier. There's definitely dragons that live up here. There's various types of predatory monsters that will hunt through the mountains as well. So most people don't even really traverse them too often. There's a natural break. There's a natural gap in the mountains where most people kind of travel through. In fact, if it weren't for like airships, you seriously doubt that this colossus might have ever been found by anyone. It's in a very like bleak, uninhabited, untreaded part of the mountain range. There's not even really much civilization near it. So it is very odd that this thing appeared here.
Are there any cauldra or cave systems or volcanic activity in this range?
Not really. There is the Grey Wall Outpost, which is, I'm gonna say, from where you are, pretty significantly far. That is, I believe, a dwarven outpost. Maybe to the south, there's the Shirat Kol. There's the Shining Valley. But like, if you were to make a triangle of those 3 places, this would be the furthest point from all of them.
Okay.
Like even in the valley where you are, you can't see anything else. The mountains all kind of wrap up and around this thing.
Okay. So this is not like a volcanic range. This is just the continents smashed together, and we have mountains. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So there's no way that this guy could have been hidden inside the rocks and then tried to get out of it, is what I'm trying to concur.
It doesn't seem like that.
Okay.
It seems as if this thing, especially with your stone cunning, this thing wasn't carved. It wasn't breaking out. This thing, it's almost like if you've ever seen someone teleport and teleport into a solid surface and get shunted out. This thing didn't get shunted all the way. This thing fused partially with that.
Gotcha. It did not have a complete phase.
Yes.
Cool. I look over at Elaine and is like, don't do this with your Misty Step. You don't want to get caught in the middle of a mountain.
Understood. I don't spend a lot of time in mountains. I try to stay away from them. No offense. Cities are more my thing.
I would have thought that, like, the forest or something was more of your friend.
No, the forest always involves a lot of hiking, and I get really sweaty, and I prefer the city.
Oh, you could just use cornstarch for that.
Hmm.
And just put it under. That's what I use to keep myself from getting damp.
I will keep that in mind.
Also, waxing your armpits. The hair just sort of keeps all of your hormones in there. Unless you're trying to attract somebody with it, I would just say, just shave it off.
Noted.
It smells better, less sweaty.
Right.
Doc, remember what we talked about TMI?
Yeah, and I didn't agree to it. I'm just giving hygiene information. Like, I don't understand. She's worried about sweating. I'm giving her...
the more you know.
Like, as someone who also does not like to sweat, I sweat a lot because I'm always in, the underground digging, and I don't know if you know anything, but the further you go down, the warmer it gets.
I'm not really worried about smell. I mean, I have flowers naturally in my hair.
Just worried about the damp?
I just don't like being sticky.
Oh,
Yeah.
sticky. Okay. The
Speaking of
cornstarch
smelly and
still works
sticky,
good for that. Yeah, it's also
I
good
do
for
want to
your
note
hair.
that your goblin is like housing cans of beans.
By now, actually, while they're all talking, he's literally just taking cans and putting them in the bag of holding, and then going and getting another one and putting it in the bag of holding.
There's
while
plenty
no one's
of
paying
room with
attention.
all of your beans. However, it does look like the beans are fairly new, so there could be someone in here. We already know someone is walking up. You're taking someone's food, Lorge. But it's okay, keep it. In fact, keep a couple in your pocket just in case you have to...
Lorge looks down at his clothes. There's literally no pockets.
You have no pockets.
Lorge doesn't need no pocket.
Always no pockets. Where do you put rocks if you don't have pockets? Sorry.
He points to the bag that you have. Just to the point to the bag of holding there.
Okay.
Lorge is an ally. If women can't have pockets, Lorge can't have pockets.
I would like to point out that Arissa has a shit ton of pockets.
Truly a fantasy world.
Alright, I guess we keep on. There's nothing else here. We keep going up this ladder.
With that notion, Lorge will go first.
Good
Up
job.
the ladder.
If he keeps
Lord,
going
as
first,
you-
he's not gonna have any hair left.
As you scurry up the ladder, Lorge, you don't notice any other traps, but you notice there's a latch at the top. It's not locked, and as you haphazardly, probably, push it open,
Fling it open.
Yeah, it slams with like this hollow metal like echoing through the space that you're now like sticking your head through, and it's dark in here. The lantern hasn't yet reached through the lantern, but even with your dark vision, you're looking around and kind of reasoning as you are like kind of patting yourself down and going, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We did the toes, we did the knees, hips. You reason that you're probably in the abdomen now. So you're kind of looking around. It's like I said, dark in here. It's a rectangular room as far as you can tell. At the opposite end from where you are, there is another ladder that is set into. And I'm sorry, there is from the opposite end of the room from where you are on the ladder is a large set of heavy metal doors with reinforcements. This is almost like a vault door, as far as you can tell, and it seems to have glass, probably not glass, but at least see-through sides to it. And there is a slight glow coming from that, which gives this sort of a dim light that doesn't all the way reach you, but there's sort of a blue glow coming from that. Are you climbing all the way up?
Oh yeah, he's
Great.
like door flings open, he jumps up to stand above the, right off the ladder.
Okay, great. So yes, you find yourself now in a decent sized space. I mean, it's about 10 feet. It's more of a hallway, really. Um, and so you've got about 10 feet wide hallway that is up to the doors. You have about 20 feet, and so enough space for all of you to occupy once again. Um, as you're all kind of climbing up the ladder and getting into that space, Lord, you would look to see that, and the rest of you would also notice that there are, in addition to the large, heavy, double metal doors straight ahead, there are two metal doors to your left and right as well that are also locked and closed.
But you said the vault like room has see-through walls.
It does. There's a little bit of like glass on either side of the metal doors. Again, there's a little bit of like blue light is kind of emanating out from. So it's not totally dark in here, and by the time uh, that that you get your lantern, that Elian's lantern comes up as well, this place is very well lit.
That looks like it might have some fun objects in it.
Hi. It's on the other side of a glass, though.
I could get you inside if you want to be inside.
Yes, please.
I'll walk over and glance into the glass.
Okay.
Can I see what's on the other side?
Yeah, go ahead and just in general give me a perception check for this space here.
Pretty good. That's a 21.
Fantastic. Okay. So the first thing you notice is these doors, these double set metal doors, again like reinforced like a bank vault, with hinges that you can see on the outside. It's different than the other doors you've encountered. This one actually has three particular different shaped keyholes. The keyholes all have emblems marked above them that we can maybe determine if you would recognize what they mean or not. But there is the symbol of a gorgon, which gorgons in this setting, and especially in D&D as well, it's not a Medusa-like creature. It's the metal bull-like creature that spews poison and all that. So there is that version of a gorgon. There is a kraken, and there is a unicorn symbol, all set above the specific keyholes. And otherwise, cautionary colors and signs around the door as you're getting closer indicate in a number of languages that whatever is behind is potentially very powerful and very dangerous. So as you're looking through the glass, what I will also notice, or I will also say that you notice, is that the floor here has it has a release hinge. It's as you kind of like test it out a little bit, it seems to hold your weight just fine. But you get the idea that if you were to try to mess with these locks, that it might drop out, and you're not exactly sure if it would drop you to the next floor, or if you're far enough out in the abdomen at this point that it would drop you all the way to the ground.
Does it seem like there's a release on the inside of the room?
For the door,
Mm-hmm.
or for the floor, you could probably pull the hinges and have it release. Absolutely.
The door. It's like it could be opened from the inside without issue, or
Oh, I'm sorry. For the door,
Mhm.
what I will say is you don't see any releases on the inside. This thing is, with a 21, the keys likely have a magical quality to them,
Okay.
especially judging by the emblems. Um,
But I
looking
don't.
in, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. But I don't see any danger immediately inside the room.
No danger immediately inside the room, aside from what is the very powerful thing that you see. So
Hmm.
the power sources of a colossus are dragon shards. Dragon shards are literal bits of ancient godlike dragons that formed the world, and also the ring around the world, and also the beneath the world. Yeah, there's three dragons. Anyway, um, you see inside that there is a very large Sybaris dragon shard. It is cut into a specific pattern and is connected to a power core that is about the size of a wine barrel, which is hooked up in an elaborate harness with a number of docent nodes as well. Like this is the jackpot. This is the power core of the Warforged Colossus. If you were going to grab anything in this place, it would be what's inside this room.
Okay. Keys look very complicated. This entire place is trapped. It looks like the floor will collapse. But I can get you in without us worrying about the door if you like.
Oh, that's. It seems like the door's trapped, so I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Um, Word of advice, as a shadow, never go towards the light. Stay kind of around it in a radius. But you'll be fine. And she kind of reaches down to the floor and grabs your shadow and lifts it up and wraps it around you like a cloak.
Ooh.
And kind of pushes you through the glass. So I'm going to use my Eladrin face step as a spring. I can teleport somebody else to a location I can see. So I am sending Dr. Arissa through the glass as her shadow. And then she kind of pops back up on the other side.
Okay.
How am I supposed
Dr.
to get
Arissa,
back?
you are now in
Yeah.
a completely other space. This is a 10 by 10 room. Again, you have this like wine barrel sized power core with this like massive Sybaris dragon shard. You may have seen dragon shards before because they're often used as arcane foci and things like that. Sometimes you get like just little flakes of them. You've maybe seen one like maybe as big as a wand. This thing is like a small boulder sized giant boulder. It's really chunky, and the power core itself, all of these docent nodes. I will need a sleight of hand check from you, please.
Absolutely. Here's my character sheet. There she is. Sleight of hand. Dirty 20.
Okay. So as you are pulling docent nodes, trying to disconnect this, reconnect that, you notice a lot of the wires are actually disconnected in here, which is likely also why you think the Warforged Colossus is inactive for the most part. As you pull, disconnect some of the goopy wires from the docent node, you get that very unpleasant falling feeling as the floor breaks out from under you and you begin to descend.
I am okay. Just real quick, I need a thing.
Please.
I'm on top of this core. Like, how big is this core? And
Wine barrel size. So we can
Wine
do a
barrel
dexterity
size.
saving throw to see if you can hold on as the floor falls out. So,
Yeah.
dex saving throw, please.
dex saving for sure. Bye-bye. 16.
Okay. I will say that is enough to kind of catch yourself a little bit on one of the goopy wires so that you don't fall all the way. It is not enough to keep you from falling down to the next floor, which it does just drop you back into the hip section.
Gotcha.
And as the wire kind of slips off of the slimy bit and you slam onto the metal floor, you are only going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. But you can see that the floor resolidifies, uncollapses above you, and you find yourself back the floor below.
And being that I see this floor, I'm assuming I can reduce the damage that I take.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
uncanny
absolutely.
dodge. Yeah, so
Yes.
you said 6?
This is just 6, yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Listen, rogues and dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the wine barrel? Where's the core?
Still up there.
It's still
You
up
were able
there?
to get one
Okay.
docent node out of it.
Alright, well, okay, I'm gonna take out my dungeoneering pack. And I'm gonna get my rope and my grappling hook, and I'm gonna go up and see if I can't hook myself in, climb back up.
The floor has resolidified. So you basically fell out from the floor dropped and then closed back
and then
up.
it closes back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're kind of getting that there's the keys probably will disable the trap.
Cool.
But they need to be found somewhere.
Alright, well, since I'm down here, on the floor. Is this a room that we were in already down here?
It is. Yeah,
Okay.
this is just the hip section. So
Okay.
it's the same room that you were in just
Right.
before. Um,
Can I
you
just
do while you're
take-
down here.
Yeah.
I will note you for just a moment. You hear a little bit of laughter.
No way, the ghost is mocking me. All right. Can I just take a look around with my eye for detail to see if there's any keys or clues for keys?
Yeah, in the hip section, nothing else was down in this
Was
area.
down here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go and waddle my way back up to the rest of them. Don't worry, I'm okay. Like, I just kind of, my knees are a bit shaky. But it kind of huh?
Do you need healing?
Oh, well, if I had to guess out of like percentage wise, I would say I'm about 30 out of 37, so I'm good.
She's fine. She's not bleeding.
Not externally, I could be bleeding internally.
Dr. Rissa, as you climb back up, I think that is a good place to take our break.
Sure.
So
Yay.
we're at the halfway point. So let's go ahead and take about 10 minutes. Stick around. Please donate to Extra Life for Kids. It's a wonderful foundation, wonderful organization that supports Children's Miracle Life Network. That's right. And can support a number of your local hospitals. I can't remember if I actually said this. The hospital I'm in support of is Seattle Children's.
Yep.
So,
Real
feel free to
quick,
donate
before
to the link.
we go to
Please.
break, I'm going to shout out, first of all, we had 2 donations before we went live from an anonymous donor for $37 and from Jody from $10. And then since we have been live, I would like to thank Julianne Kim for $20, an anonymous donation for $55, and Mitch for $25. We really do appreciate that. And,
Thank you all so very, very much.
Yep, and with that, we will see you soon. So everybody wave. So are you. What's up, nerds? We're back.
What's up, nerds? Uh,
Get in, loser. We're going cave diving.
More like we're going like de-gut a giant colossal.
it's
Yeah.
it's a little bit of cave diving, a little bit of anatomy, yeah, a little bit of surgery, a little bit of engineering, it's a little bit of everything. It's Eberron. Hi everybody, I'm Derek Sword. I'm your GM for this game. You see him pronouns. We're raising money for ExtraLife, as Val has been wonderful enough to do for what, the third day in a row now. Seventh game. Yeah, incredible. So if you have some extra change sitting around, actually probably more than change, if you have some money and you're not sure what to do with it, but you want to put it towards a great cause and maybe even get a little tax deduction if you're here in the U.S., please feel free to donate anytime to Extra Life. It goes towards an amazing cause. Let's jump back into things. You have rejoined each other back in the abdomen section of the Warforged Colossus that you have been exploring. This is, what did I say, WX52, I believe is what I called it. You again have this. You have two doors to your left and right, standard like 5-foot metal doors. You have the vault doors with the three keyholes and apparently a little bit of a trap design built into them, both on the inside and the outside. And then you also do have the ladder system that you climbed up continues upwards to another hatch. So it seems as if there's a series of hatch systems that, but a single ladder that kind of acts as like the spine of the Warforged Colossus at this point.
My knees are fine, I promise. We're going
And
to...
there were, sorry, 2 single doors on each side of this section. We're in 2, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, it looks like if we don't unlock it with the key, even if we're on the other side of the door, the floor will open up below us, and if you're not prepared, ay. So we need to find those keys.
As much as I hate to ask this, and I remember the last time I asked this, should we split up?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I feel like if any of us shout, we could easily hear each other in here.
It echoes.
Good acoustics.
Who's taking
Are
the
we
gauntlet?
are we drawing lots or are we doing boulder parchment shears?
I was say, as soon as that was said, Lorge is going to the door to the right of the double doors.
Okay.
He's like, "Oh,
Look,
okay," and
look.
starts walking off.
No.
No,
Oh,
you don't. No, you know what? Sometimes, in order for the child to not touch the fire, in order for the child to learn that the fire burns, it has to touch it. Just let it happen.
So
50
both
times? Oh, Doc, 50 times.
Well,
You know
maybe
what? Some
51.
kids need 50-second chance.
I can't keep healing him over the 52nd time.
Well, then don't. Just let that. Maybe that's why he hasn't learned his lesson.
Be a very important lesson. Yeah.
Oh, this isn't swords.
So I will note that both the doors are locked, but again, with the very familiar, now Warforged hand unlocking mechanism. Which you
Lorge
also
would-
might find a little upsetting because that also means that whatever key opens this also looks like a Warforged hand.
I was gonna say, the sad thing is it probably is somebody's Warforged hand. They just no longer needed it. With seeing that shape again, Lords
Or
would
is it
run
you
over.
are muted, bud? I'm sorry.
I say Lords would have run over to RZ and pointed to their hand. Oh,
Yeah, I'll
door?
go for it if that's what
Okay.
the key is. Like, fine by me.
Yeah. Okay. You open the door on your right. So this is as you're looking at the power core.
Yeah, looking at
To
the
the right.
cord, we to the right. Yeah.
What you notice is a room that seems to zigzag a little bit. It's almost shaped like one of those like Z-shaped Tetris blocks, and so it is 10 feet in, takes a turn to the right, and then another 10 feet to kind of make that like stacked Z shape. But inside, you can find along the wall are an assortment of basic weaponry. You can see that there are maybe about six long swords all lined up. There's six shields lined up on the left. And then when you take the turn into it, you can see that there is another like docent node harness that is at the set into the back of this little compartment area.
At the sight of the weapons being right there, Lorge probably grabs, as many of the swords as he can hold,
Yeah.
and starts walking back through the center towards Dr. Arissa for the bag of holding. There's obviously an objective in his brain. Not
What'll
saying a
also
word,
note,
just grinning, carrying the swords.
yeah, what I'll also note is that the section you went into, the right side especially,
Mm-hmm.
it feels as you open the door, it feels humid. Like there's a little bit of water dripping that you can hear, and even as you go around the corner to see the docent node barely survived being fused into the rock wall. There is rock wall here, and whatever kind of like water was in the stone has kind of been dripping in here to where there's a couple of puddles. But what's most interesting about that is that the puddles aren't super large, and the swords don't have any rust on them. So they've been in a damp environment not long enough that they would rust. They still look like I mean, they're still sharp, like they were sharpened yesterday.
This room that we're in, it has like the power supply. It doesn't have like navigation or terminals that would like detail like where this thing was trying to go, would it?
Nothing in here. You don't see any paperwork or any information in here. Kind of seems like the two rooms. If you were to unlock the second one, we can go ahead and say you do. They mirror each other, and so there's two docent nodes, probably for transmitting again information downwards through the Colossus, but also should whatever troops need to defend the Colossus from raiding party or anybody who would have broken in from the feet, this could be a standing area where they could arm themselves and then use the ladder as a choke point to take anybody out. So you're kind of fighting like, the purpose of this Warforge still seems like it was, prepped for battle not that long ago, but you don't really still haven't exactly figured out why it's here.
Okay. Um, I'm going to exit the room. I'm going to point to Brandy and Elaine and be like, "It's all yours for scrapping the rest. I believe Lorsch took all the weapons. I'll get started on the next one." And as I pass Dr. Rissa, I'm gonna tap her on the shoulder and goes, "I have a theory, but we need to find instructions for this thing, that whatever this ship's last orders were to confirm it."
You don't have a theory. You have a
You muted.
hypothesis. No, I'm not. I'm just.
Oh, you're not. You're just not picking up on the mic.
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't hear
So
it.
my mic, it's almost time. She goes. I go. I'm sorry. You don't have a theory. You have a hypothesis.
Dang.
RZ
Use that
RZ does not.
PhD like a hammer.
Wow.
Incredible.
Sorry.
RZ doesn't have the processing to become offended by that. So
Yeah.
there's just like a bit of like whirring as like some cogs tinker behind the scenes, and he goes, "My apologies, a hypothesis."
Excellent. What is your hypothesis, RZ?
I
It's 10
due to
o'clock.
the nature
Sorry.
due to the nature of the weapons in the room and the rations downstairs, I believe that this Colossus was misplaced not only in space but in time. It doesn't seem that any time has passed since the 15 or so years it disappeared. So I'm unsure of what this vessel's capabilities are, but if it was capable of some sort of temporal displacement, then that would explain why it only reappeared 5 days ago and why everything is in seemingly working order. I know that if it was me who went missing for 15 years, I would certainly start to rust.
2 seconds. I'm gonna go yell at my husband to turn his alarm off.
Oh wait, am I? Oh, I did not mute myself. Wonders. Um, Brandy's gonna like look around the room for any kind of jewelry or mirrors. Um, anything that's like pretty shiny.
Um, Nothing that would constitute, like, again, the inside of the Warforged class is very brutalist in the sense that there's nothing that would be indicative of any type of like uh, what do I want to say, any beautification kind of
Mhm.
effects in here. The shiniest thing you're going to find is probably your own reflection in one of the long swords, or maybe the docents themselves, which do have like a sort of gleaming quality. A lot of lines kind of set into them, almost like you might see on like a microchip. All these various lines that glow slightly blue as they are connected to the actual nodules. So,
Can
if you
I?
would like, you could detach one of the nodes. And again, Lorge is running around with as many sharpened swords as he can carry, so that's also something.
Oh, he's emptying out everything. He's once he's got the swords, he's putting shields in the bag.
Okay.
Which is just around my hip, by the way. So I was like, hold
That's
on, keep it, wait, because I have to fit that entire wine barrel core is what I need. This you can just get anywhere. like, um. However, I do want to pull out a can of beans.
Yeah.
I want to see what the expiration date on the beans are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, while you're doing that, it feels like Dr. Arissa might be the best person for this. Want to give me a history check as well?
That I can do, and I think I have also something for that because, of course, I do. Um, I have what's called historical knowledge. Whenever you enter a dungeon or ruin, there you have a capability to correctly ascertain its original purpose and also determine its builders, even though they were be any known races like dwarves, elves, or whatever. So you can easily determine the monetary value of art objects and stuff like that. But I don't think that actually works. Part of this, but I will give you that history check.
Yeah, this is in relation to the shields
Gotcha.
that Lorge is stashing.
It's 24.
Okay. So first to your question of canned beans, and I will add this to the list of weird things I've had to Google as a GM. But apparently canned beans are generally safe to eat for 2 to 5 years after the expiration date on the can.
Yep.
So what that's actually less than helpful because I wanted to know what the traditional expiration is. We'll say the expiration date is I'm gonna say 15 years is probably a good like time to eat canned beans. That might be really excessive. I don't know. But the expiration date is like the same year that we are currently in.
Gotcha. Yeah, but they're fresh beans.
But they are fresh beans.
Yeah. Or is the
Would the can be like soldered properly, or are they improperly soldered?
They're soldered properly. These
Okay.
are, and actually to that point, the point that I was driving with the history check as well, you notice something about the can as you're kind of looking at it, and it's a symbol you all haven't seen for some time, and it's also a symbol that's widely blazoned on the shield. The shields are all green, and they all depict a golden crown on them, and it's a symbol you haven't seen for some time because it is a symbol of Sire, which is the kingdom that now no longer exists. It's a kingdom that was the land still exists, but it exists in essentially like a nuclear waste zone called the Mournland, which is inhabited by like mutated monsters and like the most horrible undead you can possibly think of. There's an entire sea of glass where something horrible happened outside one of the cities. One of the cities is all occupied by Warforged, who have kind of separated themselves out and are, at least the propaganda says, planning to invade and take over the rest of Corvair. Like it's essentially like it's the center of a nuclear disaster. It's this
Yeah.
entire portion of the continent, and you all have what seems like shields that were painted just a couple of days ago with the symbol of that now extant kingdom, and that
RZ.
symbol's on the cans of beans.
RZ, I believe your hypothesis is believing to shape up to be a theory.
Oh, marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
Then the question that remains is, was this the work of an enemy spellcaster that managed to disrupt its presence in the time stream, or was this a capability of the ship, a sort of escape feature, if you will?
I'm gonna look over my shoulder. So what exactly are you? I'm not talking. I'm talking to the spook that's been touching me that I've not told anyone about.
Doc, what are you doing?
Oh, I've had a spook like just tapping my shoulder the entire time I've been here.
She just looks at you, tilts her heads again. You've been drinking the fire whiskey again, haven't you?
No, that stuff gives me heartburn.
You didn't want to mention this to anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to scare anyone. It's not the first spook that's tapped my shoulder in a dungeon.
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing, Doc. Not the first.
No, I think it's actually maybe, how many dungeons have I been in? Probably about 332. And I've approximately had 285 spooks tap my shoulder. This would make 286. I've never been possessed.
Okay, new rule. When we're all traveling together, we know about all the ghosts that are hanging around.
Agreed.
Okay, but I'm still trying to talk to it. Hey, spook! Like, you hear me out there?
Do not hear a response.
We should trigger a trap. It usually tries to come after we try to trigger a trap. Lord!
Lord is approaching anyway with another shield.
Hi. The other door where the thing is, just take the shield and just ram into it. I need you to trigger that trap.
Lord runs full speed because the shield's in front of him anyway. Right into the door.
Dash into the other end of the room, as far away from it as I can get.
Following.
No,
I
warning.
just prepare the dodge
Doc
action.
said do it. Lord ran.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Lord has a 40 speed, by the way, so y'all better be quick.
Which door are you ramming into?
The one
The
that
security vault door.
The one that the
Okay.
core's in. Yeah.
Okay.
Shield first.
Okay. Yeah, Lords, go ahead and give me a. It's both armed and unarmed somehow. Yeah,
It's
give me.
Schrodinger's shield.
Yeah, give me an attack.
Okay. That'd be a 19 on the die, and we're using this as a strength type attack, then I'm assuming?
Yes, I would say this is probably strength.
Okay, so add the 3, so that'd be a 22.
22. Okay. You solidly like shield in front of you, slam into the door.
Okay.
You actually leave like almost a dent in it. Like there's a little bit of a shield shaped dent, and just as you do, the mechanism on the floor, that line of 10 feet floor beneath you, you hear a click, and if you would like, you can do a dexterity saving throw to see if you're going to fall.
Yeah, let's have fun with it. Lords wouldn't even paid attention, so if the floor disappears, he wouldn't even be ready for it.
Wonderful. Okay. The floor does disappear, and you will take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam onto the floor, the metal floor of the hip section beneath you.
Can I retroactively just say that I prepared to attack the spook when I heard it, if it happens?
Sure. Yeah.
Lord fall. He's hollered up as he's probably seen the floor close.
Yeah,
back up
Lord
again.
fall. It's okay, Lord, just come back. And do I hear laughter?
You do not hear laughter. However, what I will tell you is that for all of you except for Lorge, who is on the floor beneath, as the floor is reassuming its position, you actually watch as three spectral armored individuals
Yeah.
appear for just a moment. The head of them, the middle of the three, holds out a key and just puts up a little finger, and they, in a flash, disappear.
Oh, there's 3 spooks. Y'all saw that, right?
So
So,
we either have to find the key, or I can put you back in the room if you want to take a second shot at it.
no, I think that we are beyond the realm of science and now in the realm of magic, which is, a very blurred line to begin with, but that's your specialty, so it's your turn. you and Brandy, go ahead.
I mean, the keys are not on this floor, apparently. We
Okay.
could go up, see if we can find them and come back down, or I can put you back in the room and we can try again if you think you can get it this time, now that you know what's going to happen, but that's up to you.
Do any of the other doors have like the hand thing or no?
The two doors on the sides both had the hand thing. The like vault doors ahead had 3 keyholes.
Okay, great. So I can open the other one on the other side for
Right,
further looting.
Mm-hmm.
right. And like I said, that one mirrors the other one, where you have the swords, you have the shields, and you have a docent node set into the back wall.
But this is the thing that's worth money. So, let's just go find the keys. They're probably upstairs. I want to talk to them. Brandy, do you want to go talk to them? I want to know how they time machined themselves here. Was it magic? Was it science? Come on, let's go see.
All right. And Brandy takes out her lute, tunes it. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And starts playing a tune. I think the closest approximation would probably be when we were young, when you were young by the Killers and Hotel California.
Fantastic.
I would like to point out that When We Were Young is my second favorite song in the entire world.
It's going on the playlist.
Yep. My first is always Iris. But continuing. Cool. Up. To find these spooks with the keys.
Yep. So it sounds like we're continuing up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
As it, Lords
Alright.
would have appeared about the time that they said up. So you'd
Good
walk
time,
over and put the
Lords.
shield,
Are you
put the
feeling
shield in the
okay?
bag.
Do you need help?
Lord, okay. Lord just followed.
I did too.
Lords have shield.
Okay.
Keep it on.
So climbing up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I think if like you all, we can say you've at least been presented with a map. That's maybe something that was in
Yeah.
the bag of holding. So you have, again, like the map that I've at least presented through Roll20 here, which is the one that's given in the Eberron, After the Last War, or whatever it's called, book. So as you're climbing up, you're expecting to find barracks. You're expecting to find a room of beds, probably, personal effects of any of the soldiers that might have been stationed here, as this is a transport. So, Lorge, as you ascend, your head poking up through the hatch once again, I think you might be surprised to find a room that is completely without beds and actually somewhat cramped feeling, as set into the center of this rather open room is a large unmoving astrolabe. An astrolabe being one of those devices that has like series of rings that all kind of spin independently of one another on multiple axes. And you notice that this instrument has 13 concentric rings with, at the very center, another rather large Sybaris dragon shard. This one a little bit smaller than the one you saw in the power core, but still quite sizable in and of itself. And as you all climb into this space and the lantern illuminates everything and kind of, light even reflects off of and prismatically expands out of the Sybaris dragon shards, you can see that there are 4 other smaller Sybaris shards encircling the rings on stands as well. Um, if you would like to investigate this, please give me an investigation check.
I would.
I will go over to the dock, and as I'm plucking away, I give her a little nudge of bardic inspiration.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
How much is that for?
That is for what the hell is it for? Computer. That is 1d8.
Alright, cool. So, I will roll an investigation with my eye for detail. So if there's anything hidden, I should be able to grab onto that. Investigation with a d8. Add it to it. Okay. That is a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's a 14, so it's not great. It's pretty good, but not great.
14 I think is yeah, I think that's pretty decent. So as you are walking towards and examining the astrolabe, the dragon shards, maybe even like, part of your brain salivating a little bit at the sheer size of these dragon shards and like the cost that they will bring as you get up to the ones that are set into the stands, almost the sconces. You're a little disheartened to see that they are incredibly charred and like scorched. They're cracked, even, uh, almost like whatever power was in these was pulled out of them, and they almost seem inert at this point. Like you couldn't even use this as an arcane focus. It might still draw some money just for being a dragon shard, but something incredibly powerful was channeled through these things. You also note as you're walking up and feel a little squish under your feet that there are numerous loopy power cables that all lead up to the instrument. Some of these seem charred as well, with some of them even disconnected where they seem to be burned on either half. As the rest of you are kind of looking around, you notice there are 2 tables on either side that seem to have papers, scientific instruments all strewn about as well. And let's see, lowest passive. Lorge, as you are kind of gobbling about a little bit in this now like well lit room, as you first take a couple of steps in, you feel a soft crunch beneath your feet, and as the lantern it emits its light as Elian walks up, you notice that you've stepped on the thigh bone of a skeleton, and as the light illuminates this space, you realize that there are skeletons strewn about this room, and all of them seem to have partially fused with the metal of this colossus. So there are 5 in total, but again, to call them total might be inaccurate. Um, each skull seems like it is the jaw is dropped, um, almost as if in a horrified scream. There are limbs that seem to be reaching outwards towards the device, almost like the colossus itself was reaching outwards. And you can still see that there are bits of clothing on these skeletons where they haven't fused, and they very clearly wear the Siren colors, green and yellow, and badges where they are still present and haven't fused.
What
Again,
what
so go ahead, please.
bone structure does it look like racially that these skeletons were?
Humans,
Humans?
almost across the board.
Gotcha. Cool.
You can also see that the far wall has again fused, where the mountainside is as almost completely encased in rock. Little bits of metal kind of peek through here and there, and you can almost maybe see like holes on the ground where beds might have been placed here before but removed. The beds would have been bolted down to keep them from moving about while the Warforged Colossus is moving about, and it seems as if this room was repurposed from a barracks into whatever this is.
No, don't touch shiny. As Lord is gonna point to the body in front of him that's like gasping at the shard.
This is the shard that's like all the shards here seem to be drained of their energy, right?
Except for the one in
Yes.
the middle.
Except for the one in the middle.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that one.
Once he's conveyed that, he's gonna very unceremoniously just start rummaging through the skeletons to see if anything was left behind from them.
Okay.
All right.
Looking through the skeletons, you can see that some of them had blades on their hips. A lot of them don't seem to have a lot on them, as if that these might have been, especially judging by their dress, um, higher in command individuals. Even their armor seems more decorative, and the blades they carry, some of them are silvered, some of them have like maybe even this isn't like a standard issue blade. These are like passed down familial kind of blades on their hips.
Lord, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only other thing was again, you do have the tables that do have paperwork and scientific instruments on them as well.
Lillian, I think, kind of steps towards the astrolabe, looking at it, has her head cocked to the side. The dragon above, what were they doing? One of my shows, one of the children's shows, it tells the story of Sybaris and Kyber and how the planets around Eberron came to be, and why would they have this in a Colossus?
Why is that
Doesn't make any
Colossus?
sense.
Urzi, do you have any hypotheses or theories, or just factual information that could help us?
Do I?
You could roll history.
Let's do it. Not very good. Is that it? Plus. Da. History. Nope. 9.
Okay. I was actually roll with advantage. I'm reasoning out that RZ would probably be the closest thing to an expert you would have on this. So give me another roll if it's higher than your first.
That was a dirty 20.
Beautiful.
Okay, perfect. With that, RZ, especially since you are as indicated perhaps by your name, one who might scan around a room a little bit, you might find the documents on the table before anyone else does. And as you're kind of looking through them, you see diagrams of this Warforged Colossus, and the diagrams are different than like the blueprint that you have, the one that shows that this is a barracks. This actually shows the astrolabe being placed in. It shows the wire connections, and it gives a much more detailed outline of Invader than the other Warforged you might have encountered before. And looking through the paperwork and everything on it, you can see that there is paperwork dated, signed by what seem like military officials from Sire. You know, there's stamps, their seals are on them. You can see that they are dated, actually coming from Sire itself. Um, they actually come from city of Metrol, which was one of the main cities of the Mournland of Sire itself. And you note that they are dated almost exactly 15 years prior to when you all have found this thing. Maybe like give or take about a month. And what you note as you're reading through them is that this Warforged has been designated, and there's a lot of redacted bits, there's a lot of blacked out parts, but it has been designated for Project Prestige. And you note that there's a lot of paperwork on like the different planar systems, which you recall there are 13 of in Eberron. Eberron has a different planar system in the Forgotten Realms, so there are 13 planes. You also kind of connect that there's paperwork on displacer beasts. There's paperwork on phase spiders. There's paperwork on a lot of things that are able to teleport, pass in and out of the material plane and reappear in other places. There's a lot of like biology kind of, well, if you want to consider displacer beasts biology, which they kind of are.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like books and things on the biological creatures that can displace themselves, blink dogs, everything like that. And then there's a lot of the technical side and a lot of writings about the power of Sybaris dragon shards, the power of the planar systems. And as you're kind of going through the paperwork, you're kind of piecing a couple of puzzle pieces together here that it seems as if this thing might have been an experiment in mass en masse teleportation.
I share with the class, presumably.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything that pertains to time or temporal displacement in there whatsoever, or is it all strictly like material, physical transport?
Flipping through the paperwork, you see that there was a test. The test set almost 15 years, again to the day. It is the last bit of paperwork that you find that is signed by. It's actually signed by the King of Sire himself. Authorization, and it says it is a test that is meant to transport WX-52 Invader from the city of Metrol to the city of Eston, both cities within the Mornland. That if they can have this test, if they can teleport this thing from one space to the other, that will be like their small scale test. And I mean that's several days of travel between those two cities. So that was their like base level test. It just doesn't seem like they got there.
Contrary, I think it means that this test was successful in a way. It moved. It functioned. The test happened. It just had an unexpected result.
I don't know that those views to the floor here would consider it a success.
Right, right.
I want to try something. She's gonna, Brandy's gonna use her music and try and like sense if there's anything off, like those spirits, and try to attract them to her.
Okay. We can call this Arcana, performance. We could call this even persuasion.
I will go with performance.
Okay.
Um, let's see. 8, 9, 13.
Okay. Let's see here. Right. Um, on a 13, nothing immediately happens. You're able to play your song on your lute. It kind of, again, it echoes in this space, even off of the metal of the astrolabe. That seems to have a certain resonance to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, I think you might even see just slightly with magic being introduced to the space. One of the rings just budges like maybe half an inch, but you don't really see anything else seem to happen from that.
The ring is a start. She's gonna go over to that ring and starts plucking the song her ex wrote for her.
Okay. Go ahead and give me one more performance check.
Okay. That was cocked. That is much better. 18.
Okay. With an 18, let's see here. Okay. I will need you to do a this wisdom saving throw, please.
Joy.
Oh.
Um, uh, um, I swear to God, die if you fuck me up. Oh, whiz. That's a dirty 20.
Great. For just a moment, I'm going to say you definitely feel a ghostly pull, and for a moment, it's like your song stops. Your hands kind of freeze, and it's almost like you're not in full control of yourself, and a cold kind of covers you like a cloak, but you're able to shake it off just a little bit and resume the song. It's like just for a moment. Just for a moment, something tried to take over, but you were able to shake it off and focus on what you were doing.
Never thought I'd say thank you to my ex, but okay, we have somebody in here with us.
While Brandy's doing this, I
Mhm.
think Elaine is keeping Lorge distracted so we don't set off any more traps. And she's giving like very abbreviated version of the performance that she had mentioned earlier. So there's on a part of the wall, the three dragons, Sybaris, Kyber, and Eberron, kind of are up there, and she's explaining kind of the creation story of Eberron and Sybaris, and Kyber are fighting, and Sybaris shatters, and Eberron wraps around Kyber, and it creates like the planetary system of Eberron. And she's kind of going through this almost children's story to keep Lorge entertained and distracted, so no more traps are set off.
Wonderful.
Lorge is just mesmerized by it, but is literally holding all of those daggers and weapons that you were talking about that he was gathering up. He's just standing there with them, cradling them while he's watching the wall now.
Great. Unfortunate. Great. Um, okay. So again, the ladder leads upwards. There is nothing else necessarily in this room um, that you all have detected. Um, I will note that there are a couple of window slots. So there's like metallic shades that you could slide and actually look out, almost like porthole windows, or like arrow slot windows that you could look at if you wanted to, towards the front of the chest. Um, but you do reason that the next level is likely going to be the shoulder level, and then after that uh, the mouth and head, which are two different.
In concern to Brandy saying that somebody is in here with us, I'm like, yes, the spooks. We saw them earlier.
No.
Oh?
I'm talking about somebody tried to take over on me.
Like possess you?
Mm-hmm. I do want to do a quick roll for whether or not that would like trigger a shape change. If that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
So what did we use last time?
It
Deception?
was
Yeah.
deception. Yeah.
7, 12.
You know, if something took you over, it might. You might actually, like, if something has possessed you, it might make you look like that thing. you've never been possessed before, maybe.
Doc, what do I look like?
I don't. What does she look like? Sorry.
So, as kind of Brandy turns around, Brandy has taken on much more masculine features. There's a sort of nobility to the cheekbones and the aquiline nose, and you're definitely getting more of a rich white boy vibe
Mm-hmm.
off of Brandy now than perhaps they were putting out before.
Can I do a quick history check and see if I've recognized this in portraits or something in my
Sure.
studies?
Yeah.
Character sheet, where'd you go? Okay.
Oh,
So many
not the boat
windows.
shoes. God, no.
It's an 18.
With an 18, I don't think that this is necessarily somebody that you would outright recognize.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that there are, in a Sherlock Holmes sort of way, where you can recognize features. I think you would probably recognize this individual as having features that are common amongst the dragon marked houses, who all kind of marry amongst each other. So at a certain point, they all start to look
Mm-hmm.
the same, and this definitely has the look of a dragon marked child.
So essentially the equivalent of the Hasburgers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's that, or like more contemptualized,
Yeah.
like the Hamptons.
Yeah,
It's like how everybody in
because
the Hamptons begins.
I was thinking, oh, Brandy, your chin is really big. Like,
I need a mirror. I need a mirror.
It's
I
a
need a
little
mirror right now.
It's okay. Here, I pull one out of the bag of holding. It's in my Dungeoneer's pack. Like, the silent screams. Like, it's all right. You can just peel your skin off and grow more, right?
Who taught you about my people?
You're fine. Like, it's fine. Don't you can just take it off, right?
I don't know if I can take that off.
I've got a
Dear,
knife.
can I take that off?
Why?
Brandy's gonna try to at least at her very stressed out, try to go back to her base form. Damn the consequences.
Okay, I think reverting to your base form, especially despite the fact that you don't want to, I think that's maybe easier than you'd like it to be.
So basically in a blink of an eye, you see like the boat shoe fuckboy appearance, and then the next you see a very pale changeling base form with silver hair. The ocean blue eyes still remain the same, and her lips are kind of like dark, and everything else is just like kind of ocean themed. Is
Yeah.
And around her neck is like a very fine golden chain with a locket. Okay, okay. I think I gotta. Oh, great. Okay. I'm better now. Let's go.
Okay. She's better now. She also looks like a spook, but she's better. So,
You just see the mirror get thrown right back at you.
uncanny dodge. All right, so we're going up.
Going up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next level is the shoulder level. So you find yourselves in, again, like a 10-foot hallway. Up ahead of you, to the left is a door, to the right is a door. And then there seems to be a small set of steps that lead upward, and you can see that there is an arcane ballista, a siege weapon essentially. That there is a manning station for that, and it has one of those very large kind of sliding doors on it, or windows, that you could open to fire the arcane ballista out of, but that is currently closed, and it does not seem like anybody is manning the door, or is manning the ballista. I will also note this is the first level where you have gone that the doors aren't locked. They are closed, but they do not appear to have locks on them.
It's probably because you need to get personnel through it quickly, since it's a weapons room. But there also could be keys in here. Can I look for keys?
Which door do you want to try first?
How many are there?
Just two.
Just two? I will try the closest one on the right. The right door. If there's
Okay.
one on the right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you're facing the ballista, there is one on the right. You open that door to a solid rock face. It seems as if you have found the furthest point where the cliff face has become part of the Warforged, and this door is like even slightly pressed outwards when you unlatch it, and there's just like a little bit of crumbling rock kind of falls down.
I pat the rock. Hello there. And I close the door. There's just a mountain behind there. If the keys are there, well... Shears, are you okay? Are you choking?
I had to take a sip at that exact moment. I'm okay.
Okay. There's just a mountain there. That door. Go walk over to the other door to open that one to see.
Great. Okay. As you open the second door, I think the first thing that you spot is a long table with some paperwork strewn out on it. There's a couple of chalices, metal chalices, that are set about as well. You can see that there are 6 chairs. And then as you open the door, almost materializing in front of you, you see that there are 3 spectral knights. They are fully armored, although their armor seems strange at first. There's weird additions to it, and they're giving off this like ethereal blue glow. They're standing about the table, all 3 of them. They're speaking, but you can't necessarily say or hear what they're saying. And as the one at the head of the table turns his head towards you, I will need us to roll for initiative.
Here we go.
Fight.
Okay. 17.
You should probably type them in Zoom chat so that Derek can write them down.
Really appreciate that.
Ooh. That is... I just had a brain blank. My God. Ooh. And I'm going to put that die away because I'm never going to have to roll that high.
Shears and RZ, you both got a 17. Do you have a preference as to who goes first?
Nah.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I will say, RZ, since you got your name in first, I will have you go first, and then we'll put in Brandy after that.
I won the real life initiative roll.
Lord. Okay. So, with a 20, Orissa, you are going to go first. You have 3 of these phantom warriors before you. What would you like to do?
I would like to use my bonus action to use Insightful Fighting on the one that turned its head on me.
Mm-hmm.
It is a... Sorry. I'm blind. Okay. I have the ability to decipher an opponent's tactics and develop a counter to him. As a bonus action, I make a wisdom insight check against a creature you can see that isn't incapacitated, contested by the charisma deception check. If I succeed, I can use my sneak attack against it, even if I don't have advantage, but not disadvantage. This benefit lasts for 1 minute or until I use it on another target. So the one that's staring at me, the one that like did its head turn, I would like to use my insightful fighting on it to decipher what is this. Like,
Sure.
13.
Okay. What do I need to roll?
Deception.
Deception. Okay. I don't think it particularly deceives too well. That is, let's see, deception's charisma, so it's a +2, so that is a 15.
Okay, so I do not get advantage on it. So instead, I'm gonna be like, well, I don't like that, and I'm gonna pull out my hand axe and I'm gonna throw it at its face.
Okay.
Like, so cool. It is a dirty 20 to hit.
That'll absolutely hit.
Yep. For just checking real quick because I'm using Dex because I threw it, not Strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just checking to see my modifier on this is correct. So that'll actually be 9 on the hand axe damage. Yep.
Very nice. All right.
Cool.
I have to ask, is your hand axe magical in any way?
It is not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You throw the hand axe almost like perfectly like through the face of this phantasmal warrior, and while it does catch a little bit, like there is resistance to it, it passes directly through and just like lobs itself into the metallic wall behind. Anything else for your turn?
I'm going to move out of the way.
Okay.
I don't know the space of the room. Sorry, I don't have a map in front of me.
No, you're all good.
Yeah.
You've just opened the door, so you are in a space that is 10 by 15, 20, 25, and then you opened a door into a space that is 15 by 25, 30-ish.
Okay, I'm just going to get out of the doorway and whoop behind the door in like the wall to take cover.
Okay.
It's like, spooks! As I yell at everybody to go forward into the room.
It is the warriors' turns, and so they are going to, not that any of you could see, but they are all going to become ethereal and reappear in the hallway with you. One will appear in front of Dr. Arissa, one will appear behind Lorge, and then one will engage, probably with Eliane. Let's see. The first one, actually, we'll say the second one that's behind Lorge, is going to use its horrifying visage. So I will need all of you. Technically, Warforged is an undead, so I will need all of you to do a wisdom saving throw, please.
A Warforged is an undead.
No, I don't think it is. I would think a Warforged is not an undead, so I will have the Warforged also make it's a DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Question for DM. Since Brandy is back to her changeling form, I managed to find the changeling mechanics,
Great.
and that's already set up. Can I use those?
For sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
19.
15.
Okay.
14.
All right.
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
What did you get, Val?
19.
19. Okay.
I'm more scared of auditions than I am of ghosts.
All right. RZ, Brandy, what did you get?
10.
10. Okay.
I got 21.
Okay. RZ, perhaps for the first time in your existence, you feel something that was never programmed into you. You feel fear. and you will be frightened of this ghost. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, but during the process of being frightened, you will have disadvantage on attacks against that ghost. And let's see if they change this. Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within sight. You can't willingly move closer to the source of the fear. And it doesn't say you necessarily have to run away from it, but you just will have disadvantage while you're scared and can't move closer to it. Um, Great. And you didn't succeed low enough that you age, because I don't know what that looks like for a Warforged. Maybe rusting. I don't know. That is the first one's turns. Let's do the other two. The other two are just going to make their attacks with a Spectral Longsword. So this will be against Dr. Arissa and Eliane. So Dr. Arissa, that's definitely going to hit. That is a 17 plus 5. And, okay, so 2 hits on Dr. Arissa and just 1 hit on Eliane. Okay.
What was the hit on me?
The hit on you was a 14 plus 5, so it was 19.
19. My shadow will jump in front of it. I'll shield.
Okay, great.
And I will react to Uncanny Dodge. Since I
Definitely.
can't see
So,
it. Yeah.
you absolutely can. So let's do damage here. For Dr. Arissa, that is 11 and 12, 15. 15 points of force damage.
Oh, it's force damage?
Mm-hmm.
I have studded leather armor of force resistance.
Good to know.
That was my special item that I got.
So you can already have the damage, and so with 15, what's that, like 7?
Yeah.
And then
Force
have that again.
And that's
Yeah.
so that's 4. So it's like force damage, and it's just like, oh, okay. Like, all right.
Yeah, so you feel your armor absorb a lot of it.
Thank you.
That is it for the Phantom Warrior's turns. Eliane, it is your turn.
I had a plan, and then they teleported in here. Because we're mixed up with them, right?
Yes,
Like, we're
they're
just-
all kind of
yeah.
spread about in this room. I will also note, thanks to your lantern, they cannot become invisible. So they perhaps were a little surprised to see themselves and each other when they popped into the room.
That is a bonus at least. I was going to hypnotic pattern them, but that's not an option now unless I hit everyone, which is not a good team player. I'm assuming they're like floating, right? They're not on the ground.
They appear to be on the ground, although, I mean, they're spectral, so whether they're like putting weight onto the floor, you can't really tell.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're at least like they're obeying gravity. Whether that's a choice or they're forced to, you're not exactly sure. But these are law-abiding citizens. They obey the laws of gravity.
Difficult terrain's probably not going to affect them. I will. Yeah, kind of throwing her arms out. The shadow of 2 ravens kind of fly out around the room, and I'm going to twin spell Chromatic Orb. And I'm going to hit 2 of them.
Okay.
First one is 8 plus 14 is a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So one, I guess, is probably going to be the one in front of me. There's one engaged. Who are the other 2 engaged with?
One of them is behind Lorge, and the other one is behind Dr. Arissa.
I've seen Dr. Rissa in combat, and she can kick ass. So I'm going to help Lorge out.
Okay.
So just pointing out, I think he would be in front of me because I did say I put my back against the wall.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The other one's in front of Lorge. That is a natural 20.
Okay. You can double the dice or double the damage.
Okay. So the one in front of me, these are both second levels. So this would be 48. So the one in front of me takes 21 points of do lightning. Lightning's fun for ravens. So 21 points of lightning to the one in front of me, the one by Lorge. $46 points of lightning on the critical.
Nice.
Say 46.
Yes.
Okay. These had 45 hit points each. So, and would you like to tell me how you just one-shot one of these phantasmal warriors?
Yeah, the Raven's kind of, as she throws her arms out, following the shadows of her arms, the ravens leave her hands and fly around and fracture into lightning, the shadow of lightning bolts as they hit. And one of them completely pierces through. That one, the one closest to me, I think was too close, which is why it didn't get hit quite as hard. But yeah, so the shadow of lightning piercing through. Do these cast shadows? They're in my lantern. They're not invisible. I would assume they cast at least a little bit of a shadow.
Sure.
Yeah, the lightning pierces through. The shadow lightning pierces through their shadow. I think just kind of
Ghosts have
rips it
shadows.
apart.
That's a good question. What I will say, so something that you note, especially as the lightning kind of courses through here, each of these knights, while they are dressed differently, their armor is weird because it seems like there are like connectors. It seems like they have like tendrils coming out of their armor, much like the ones you've seen connecting the docent nodes. Um, they also are each wearing a different symbol emblazoned into their breastplate. The one that you hit is the one with the Gorgon symbol. And as you electrify this ghost for just a moment, you watch the spectral aspect fade, and he corporealizes. He becomes a person for just a moment before the lightning just evaporates, just as if he was never there, and somewhat steaming a little bit from the electrical charge, a single key drops to the ground with a clank.
I think we found our keys.
Is there anything else for your turn?
No, because I will. I can't afford an attack of opportunity, so I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. RZ, you are up next.
So I can't move closer to any of them
You
until
can't move closer to Lords. You could technically still attack, um, but yeah, I think it would have to be a ranged attack.
range attack. Fuck, I don't really have any of those. Hmm. I mean, I kind of feel like I should just end my turn and then hope that I can make the save, right? Like anyone else have a better idea?
Could always lend a help action as well.
Ooh, okay. How would that look? Could I
Uh,
give Lorge the health action and then end my turn, make the save?
for sure. Yeah, you could say, like, Lorge has his back to one of the ghosts. You could definitely look at the ghost and shout out something to help Lorge, like, hit him in the midsection, something along those lines. Whatever you say will be essentially an assistance. Will give Lorge advantage on his attack.
Okay. Sort of like glitching out still, my programming not fully unfrazzled. I go
Hmm.
behind you and I sort of like duck a bit. And now I'll try and make my save.
Please.
Please let me do actions again. Let's see. 19 plus whatever, so that probably will
Yeah,
pass.
you have broken free of your fear and cannot be affected by the ghost's horrifying visage for the next 24 hours. Very well done. All right. Next up we have Brandy.
Alrighty, since I remembered I had to have a magical item, I'm skinning it from the ring of protection to the locket. Um, so how many of our ghosties are still around?
Just two. And
Perfect.
one of them, the form of which is kind of almost like flickering a little bit, like they're having difficulty sustaining their form in this material plane.
Perfect. How far away are they?
Let's look at the map here. So, in this space, they can't be more than 15 feet from you.
Perfect. Alrighty. So Brandy uh does like the opening riff of the song again, And then she just tells them, all of you need to calm down and stop what you're doing. Halt. Command at 3rd level.
Nice.
Okay, what is the DC for that?
That DC is, if I can remember where my mouse is, that is a wisdom saving throw of 13.
Wisdom save for 13. Okay. I'm curious if this counts as a charm. Because they cannot be charmed. So I want to check real quick on that.
Uh-huh. Let's see. You speak one word command to a creature you can see within your range. Target must succeed on the whiz save throw and follow the command on its next turn.
Okay. Doesn't say charm anyone in there or anywhere in there, so
It
yeah.
says 1st level enchantment, if that helps.
It is an enchantment, and that's it's different technically than being charmed.
Yeah.
So I will
Cool.
say that they can at least we can at least do a roll for it. You said DC 13 wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so that is a 19 for the first one, and that is a 13 exactly. They have +0 to wisdom for the second one. So, unfortunately, no halt for that, but good to know that it at least is something that could potentially be used in the future. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
I will say I'm probably going to try and get...
Actually, I tell you what, Shears, because it does say the spell has no effect if the target is undead. If you would
Okay.
like to, because that is part of the spell, if you would like to do something else for your turn, I'm not going
Yeah.
to have you, like, essentially waste your turn if you don't want to. So if you would like to do something else, you absolutely may.
Do-do-do. I'm going to use a True Strike and get the one that is going on to the doctor.
Okay.
And using the lyre, just basically doing a boomer bend and just letting the sound vibration hit them in the chest.
Okay. So let's see. True Strike. Point a finger, group insight on your... Okay. So you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target, provided that the spell hasn't ended at the beginning of your next turn.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Lorge. Lorge, you have advantage thanks to RZ on your first attack against the ghost behind you.
Okay. Was it which? I thought the ghost behind me was the one that got killed.
You are right. So we
Okay.
can say that it'd be advantage against the one that is closest to Eliane.
Okay. Just making sure that I
No,
had
you're right. I mixed those two up.
that right in my head. So,
Yes.
and we're kind of we're out in the hallway still, aren't we?
We're in the hallway. Yeah, and this one has the Kraken emblem on
And it's
his.
not I'm assuming a great big hallway.
No, it is 10 by 15 or 10 by 25. 10
Oh,
by
it's
25.
pretty wide hallway at 10 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. Lorge is going to use his bonus action to rage.
Okay.
And Beans Lorge is a Path of the Giant barbarian. When he rages, he literally increases to a large-sized creature now.
Okay.
So Lorge is Lorge. And you just hear this deep ho 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 ho.
I have a question. Does Lord's
Yes.
clothes grow with him?
Yes, they do, and that
Okay.
is actually specified in it. Somebody was thinking because they wrote that in the description of it. So they said all objects on you grow with you.
Okay.
Second
They
question.
somebody had an issue. They had to write that.
Second question. What kind of large is he? Is he very lanky or is he kind of
No,
buff
he
large?
literally just increases his ratio.
Like a liquid, he
Becomes
just fills the space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Lorge is going to stomp by and take a swing at the one that's still standing there then.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's see. That is going to be a 17 plus 6 for 23.
That'll hit. Yeah.
Okay, and we have the special brass knuckles too. So That will be 5 damage and 2 of that, and 2 more of force damage on top of that.
Okay.
And then just for fun, since we're level 5, we'll do a second attack because
Yay!
that's all barbarians do. And that will make a 15 plus the 6 makes it 21.
Yes, absolutely.
And on that one, I'm going to use Frost Strike because I also have the Strike of Giants as the feat.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do the 4 damage plus 3 force for 7 total there, and
Okay.
add 1d6, 2 cold damage to it. Now, these I consider are not creatures due to the fact they are undead, correct?
Undead are creatures.
Okay, because the wording in this says if the target is a creature, it
Mm-hmm.
must succeed a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, it mostly
Uh,
means if you're not hitting an object.
Mm-hmm.
So Constitution, they have a +3 con, and that's only a 3, so that's a 6 total.
so
I
they
think that's probably fail.
speed is now 0 for that creature. They cannot move
Okay,
until the start of my next turn.
good to know. All right, so you watch as like almost a rhyme kind of covers some of the spectral bits. Like there's sort of like a glinting, like almost frostbite within the form of the spectral, the phantasmal warrior. Anything else for your turn, Lorge?
Free action just to laugh because he is Lorge and he's having fun now.
It absolutely
He's
echoes
just
like
it's a deep guttural now that he is this big.
your companions are kind of like pressed up against the wall just a little bit. Um, okay, we're back to top of the order with Orissa.
Okay, I have a flavor question.
Yeah.
Would spooky things, like in most spooky lore,
Mhm.
be vulnerable to iron?
I think it's fun to say yes for this.
Cool. So instead of getting out my actual weapons, I'm gonna get out my crowbar.
Okay.
And I would like to, because this is not like a finesse weapon, it's just basically a club. I would like
Yeah.
to use my insightful fighting on the guy in front of me.
For sure.
To see if I can't get an advantage and sneak attack this guy. Because, oh no, what, because I don't have magical weapons, but I got iron. Like, alright, cool. So, character sheet, I'm blind. Alright, this is insight versus his
Deception.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's only an 8 plus 2, so it's only 10. So
Well,
you
I got a
have,
17 on this one, so
go for it.
I'm going to crowbar this guy. Nope, that's hand axe. Crowbar. Okay, a 13?
13 does not hit.
Darn. Okay. I would like to get out from behind this wall and move away from it. I'm not disengaging.
Okay. All right. Good to know. It is the Phantasmal Warrior's turns. So the one has a speed of 0, but is engaged still with Elaine. The other one is going to go after Dr. Orissa.
I moved my
So let's-
full movement of. In fact, I used my. I would like to. How long is the hallway?
25 feet.
25
Well,
feet.
but you also have a Lorge that is blocking a
Yeah,
significant
but I
portion
can
of
go
it.
under his legs.
Okay,
I'm
that's
short
true.
now.
He tried to do that to you earlier. It's only fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way between his legs to the other side of the hall and like have used my bonus action not to disengage but to dash if that was possible to get as far away as I could.
Great.
So if he can still get to me, he's welcome to. There's also a
Yes.
Lorge. Like...
Well, let me do the attacks on Elaine here, so we can see if those hit or not. So Elaine, you have a 16 AC. That is a 11 plus 5, so that is a 16, and that is a net 1. So, one hit. And it's
my shadow will again dive in front of it.
you got it. Okay. Dr. Arissa, the rest of you would watch as the spectral, the phantasmal warrior, descends through like the floor. If you went a level down, descends through the floor, like targeting, going after Dr. Arissa. I will need you to do a DC 13 Charisma saving throw, please.
I made exactly a 13.
Exactly a 13. Okay.
Yeah.
So you watch as this thing kind of extends a hand out to you, and seems to be trying to take control. It's trying to enter your space, trying to take on your form, and you watch as this thing tries to invade your consciousness, tries to possess you, and you are able to force it out. Um, let's see. Okay. Um, that is it for its turn. That's all it can do.
I have a
So,
-1 to charisma
next up.
too. That's what I gave up on. Sorry.
You're fine. Next up we have Elaine. You have the one in front of you with 10 hit points left and speed of 0.
Get him, Elaine.
Yeah, I'm. Kind of in a panic. She was really hoping that these would be dealt with quicker than this. She's much better at handling physical creatures, corporeal creatures, than she is ghosts. But kind of in a panic, I think she swings her lantern at this ghost, and this using shocking grasp. Um, she kind of electrifies this lantern as she swings it at its face. That's a 21 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
That is... It's going to be close. 11 points of damage.
You just needed 10. So once again, you electrify this one with the symbol of a kraken on its breastplate. It again becomes corporeal for just a moment before completely dissipating, atomizing, even leaving a single steaming key on the ground with a heavy clank. These are very large keys. Next up, we have RZ.
Okay, I'm no longer frightened. One of them, the
No more
last one is
frightened.
after Orissa. Where are they located right now?
Arissa, did you climb down the ladder, or did you just get as far away into the hallway as you could? Because you said you did dash. Val,
Sorry, huh?
you're all good.
What was the
Did you,
question?
when you ran away, did you run down the ladder, or did you just get as far down the hallway as possible?
As far down the hallway as possible.
Okay, so Dr. Arissa is still in the space.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is the ghost exactly?
The ghost is like right next to her,
In my
right
face.
up on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far away? My speed is 40. Oh, okay, that's nice. So how far do I need to get to her?
Oh, with a speed of 40, you would absolutely be able to get to her for sure.
Fantastic. I'm gonna go right up, and so at level 5, I get 2 attack actions, and if one of those hits, I can spend a key point to do a flurry of blows, which will then be 2 more attack actions. So I'm gonna roll the first 2, and then if one of those hit, I'll roll the second 2, and then just do all the damage.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Scratch that. Let me just 1 second.
You're good.
We're gonna do the first one, and then I should actually do Stunning Strike, because then I get advantage if those land. So, first hit, right? First of the actions, 19.
19 absolutely hits.
That wasn't even adding my bonus. Key point for Stunning Strike, make a Constitution save.
Okay.
Is it con or
Con
wisdom? I'm pretty sure
save
it's con.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I
they have
made
a
books. Yeah.
+3 Constitution. It's a 14 plus 3, so that is 17.
Eliane shouts, "Hey, look, a squirrel!" And she is creating a shadow puppet of a squirrel up on the wall. This is Silvery Barbs. Please re-roll that. And I will give advantage to RZ.
I love how there was actually a squirrel to look at.
Yes, actually a squirrel.
That is 11 plus 3. That is a 14.
Lorge is looking at a squirrel.
Or
So
a
that still
QT nut.
succeeds, unfortunately, because my DC is 11, but that's okay.
Okay.
I got 3 more cracks at the apple, so
And you do have
uh,
advantage on one of them.
excellent. Let's roll the second one. Um, another 19. That's my second 19 in a row. So,
Fantastic.
key point, stunning strike again.
Okay. That is a 10 plus 3, so that is a 13. We're
Okay,
getting progressively lower, so
still succeeds, but that's all right. All right. I spent another key point first. Okay, so that's 1. Sorry,
Did your
1.
first stunning strike succeed?
No, none of them have
Okay.
succeeded yet. But I have flurry of blows, so I spent the key point for that. So gonna go again.
Did you hit them with did you hit them with any of your attacks?
Yes. So
Yes.
all
Okay.
of my attacks have landed. It's just my stunning
Your
strikes have
stunning
failed.
strikes did not. Gotcha.
So first roll was an 8. I'm gonna use the advantage I got from Elaine to roll that one again. That's another 19. That's
Nice.
okay.
make the roll. Please be under 11.
Monks.
That is a nat 1.
Nice.
Let's go. All right. So now it is
Yeah!
stunned.
Okay.
Which I believe it will take because I think ghosts are not immune to stun, which is crazy. So
Yeah.
unless this is some other creature, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It's immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, and restrained, but
All
not
right.
stunned.
So this ghost can no longer move, and my last attack on it is also going to have advantage. So we're just going to roll that right now, and that's a 17 plus whatever my bonus is. Does
That'll
that
do
hit?
it. Yeah,
All
it's a
right,
DC
great.
16, AC 16 for these.
All right, so I'm going to roll 4d4s worth of attacks. And then plus my bonus on each of those is 22 damage.
22 damage. Very nice.
Jesus.
I love monks.
I do too.
They're great.
All right. Anything else for your turn?
That's it.
Fantastic. Definitely stunned. Part of like having difficulty retaining its phantasmal form. We go to Brandy.
All right. So since using my natural charms doesn't work, she is going to do. Okay, what can I do?
You have advantage if you go to hit it.
Oh, I know.
Mhm.
I'm going to do.
I will also note this one has a symbol of a unicorn on its breastplate.
Aha. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do vicious mockery and just say, really, is this really the best that you can do? Is this really your motivation? You would have gotten a raspberry.
What is the save for vicious mockery?
That would be a 13.
13. Wisdom save. Yeah.
Shit.
Okay, wisdom. I think it has a +0 to wisdom, and it does. I rolled an 11. It fails.
Okay. So I'm going to use, in the spirit of unicorn, sparkly dice. 2d6. Hold on, had to pull that up. Yeah, so 5, 6, 9 points of damage.
Okay. Looking incredibly rough, but still maintaining some sort of consistency here.
And
Um,
I will, for bonus action, I look at RZ and I just say, "You're doing great, sweetie. Keep hitting them hard."
Lorge, probably just able to get your shoulders unlodged and like turn around. It is your turn.
Is he within 10 feet of me?
Yes, I think everything is within 10 feet of you.
Because I was gonna say I don't have to move then, because I also got an extra 5 feet of reach in the
Right.
with this. So, okay, well let's just hit him. And since I forgot to add my damage, my rage damage before, let's do the damage right this time.
Okay.
Just get him, Lorge.
So was this with advantage or is he unstunned now?
This
Oh,
is with
he's stunned
advantage.
until the
Okay.
until my yeah.
Until
Yeah.
the
Wait,
end
well,
of
that-
the monk's turn.
That made a 12 plus the 6 makes an 18.
18 definitely hits.
And since I have 2 more uses of my Frost Strike, I will go ahead and add that one in too. So that will be 4, 12 plus 6. That's 18 damage for the one hit.
It had 9 hit points, but if you just want to see how much damage you can do,
Why not?
yeah.
Well, we'll take that one for a 23. And then 9. Well, that was a max roll on that one shy. So that's 15 plus the 6 is 21. So 40 damage total for the 2 hits.
I think he's.
Yeah.
It's like stepping on a Coke can.
Yeah, this
My
ghost again,
guy.
like you feel the corporeal nature of it for just a moment before again it's just like you smush into the Lord Smash
Yeah, I was gonna say
into
he just yells large as he does it.
and for just a moment after the ghosts have all dissipated, you feel the key kind of like lodged into your knuckles a little bit as you pull your hand back up. The ghosts are all gone. You hear just a whisper kind of emanate throughout the room of just several different voices, at least three. One saying "Why," the other one saying "We failed." Invaders. You hear just like all of this like cacophony of voices, all kind of culminate to a point, and then complete silence.
So we're losers, all of them.
I'm gonna speak out loud. Technically, you failed 15 years ago, if that's helpful.
See, RZ understands. RZ sees the vision.
And he meant it so sincerely, too.
To wrap up here, since we've gone a little bit over time, you continue the exploration without too much issue of traps or anything otherwise. You're able to find a couple of smaller arcane heavy crossbows that are set into different arrow ports, which you are able to collect as valuable pieces of weaponry. Arcane crossbow bolts not really needing, or arcane crossbows rather, not needing crossbow bolts. You gather all of the paperwork you can find strewed about the table. The room that you had walked into had further details about Project Prestige, and it's almost as if the ghosts were trying to figure out a way to undo their predicament. Traveling further along, you would find the porthole to the arm, and should you travel along the arm, even find an opening in the hand, in the palm. Would you to travel upwards through the neck and into the jaw, you would find a massive arcane laser, essentially a ray of devastating energy that would be depowered. And sitting in its gunner's seat, you would find a familiar looking set of armor with a skeleton inside. The set of armor with the Kraken emblem on it. Traveling up into the head proper, you would see the ports where the eyes would be. In the center of the room, dangling from an apparatus, is a skeleton that is dangling from the metal helmet that is fully encased its head. The helmet very much appears like the face of a warforged itself, and is made of mithril and adamantine. Is connected by these node wires that connect up to the ceiling. The skeleton itself, dressed in the familiar Gorgon emblem armor, again with a very ornate sword at its side. And then sitting at a control panel is a final skeleton with um, the unicorn symbol. And as you are able to gather the keys and go down to the arcane core, you would be able to detach everything. Again, no traps involved. And after thoroughly looting this dungeon, this former machine of mass destruction, you would feel successful in staking your claim, having been here before anyone else. And as you were traveling outwards, either by boot or by hand, you would hear the familiar whistle of the siren as several other airships have arrived to help you take this thing apart piece by piece and bring it back for Roxy's. You have all successfully dealt with the danger here, as well as gotten quite a big haul. Some very valuable things and some valuable military intelligence that perhaps you were not meant to know. However, you do piece together that with the unicorn, the kraken, and the gorgon, that these were likely dragon-marked house pilots, members of House Orion, members of House Cannith, and members of House Lyrindar. And whether you pulled them out of time, or whether they were actually dead, you're not exactly sure. But regardless, you put them to rest. Um, the true secrets, the true things that happen in the Mornland will be likely a mystery for all of time. But it seems as if you solved a small piece of that puzzle, and perhaps it gives a little shiver up your spine when you think of the Mornland and what if something could cause this minor cataclysm, what could cause a cataclysm that would devastate an entire nation. That is Bones of the Colossus. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for playing. Wonderful job to all of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you in the audience for joining us as well. And thank you to all those wonderful people who made donations to ExtraLife. Goes towards a great cause, and I'm very honored that I can be here to help with that. So thank you, Val, for also having all of us here.
Yep. Thank you everyone for coming and showing up. Real quick, if the cast would like to just go around, let us know where we got 5 minutes, so let us know where we can find you, and like maybe one project that you're working on or something like that, and we'll just go around and do like the opposite way that we started. So Story Smith, if you would like to go first.
Sure. So I'm on Twitter at @astorysmith. Twitter is bad for my mental health, so I try not to go on it too frequently, but it's also a great place to connect with other TTRPG people, so that's really the only reason I'm on it. I write D&D campaigns for Dungeon in a Box, for Nimble 5e, for Juntera, and a couple other clients on the horizon, so if you ever need anything written, come to me. I love writing, I love editing, I work in book publishing when I'm not playing D&D. That's about it.
Cool. Cheers.
2 minutes timer starts now. Hi everyone, my name is Bloodthread Shears for short. I have played Brandy. You can find me wherever. I have a link tree. I go by many names. I am Legion. My current projects are that little thing on Amanda over there. Amanda says hi. I'm also going to be at PAX Unplugged, where I'm going to be on my very first panel. Are we the bad guys? Where we deconstruct and talk about what it means to be heroic or villainous. I'm coming in from a disability perspective. I'm also currently on hiatus for streaming right now because day job is going on. I'm also going to be doing a lot more stuff. I'm a professional level ballet dancer, professional photographer. I'm the head of Different Drum Photography. Link is in the link tree. As always, I like to say, because I have a lot less to say this time, hire these amazing people. Give them your money.
Yeah, please.
Back to you in the studio.
Thank you. Mitch.
Hi, I'm Mitch D. You can find me most socials at Mitch_D78. My current project is hyping my friends. That's pretty much my goal in life, is to just make sure people know how amazing they are and how much they're appreciated. So thanks again for having me, Val. It was a blast meeting new friends and playing a great game. And I know we're short on time, so I'm done.
Anna.
That is me. I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. You find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun, and everywhere else, including Instagram and Blue Sky at Archival Dust Bunny. I'm a lot of places and a lot of projects, so follow me on social media to see where and when I am. But if you like magical girls, queer stories, and stories about finding hope again after devastating loss, check out Bloom and Blight, our Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast, following the titular magical girl team as they deal with their leader having sacrificed herself to save the world. So it follows them and explores the grief and how it affects them and those around them as they have to continue to protect the city that they live in. It's highly edited with full soundscapes, music, and sound effects and all that. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcast, and on all social media at Bloom and Blight. And for character information, cast information, transcripts, downloadable content, and a link to our amazing community Discord, check out bloomandblight.com.
Cool beans. And Derek.
Thank you all for staying a little bit later. I really appreciate it. You can find me and most of what I do at Sword and Key. It's beacons.ai/Sword and Key has everything there. Our socials have underscores between the words. I'm also do the podcast Monster Crush. If you like monsters and think they're smoochable, find out wherever podcasts are found. Yeah, all of that is Sword and Key. Beacons.ai/Sword and Key. Find it all there, and that's where I GM most of the time. Again, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Val, I will hand it off to you.
All right, and just as a quick thank you to Dax, who just donated $45 as we were wrapping up, which means
Thank you, Dax.
don't go anywhere. Stay in chat because we'll be back in 30-ish minutes with some fake core ran by Arc Dragon Breath featuring Dax, Ryan, and Janie Potts. So yeah, everybody wave. We'll see you in 30 minutes. Bye. See you. Where's my splash page?